Jeff Passan on this baseball trade deadline day. The Astros have a deal in place to acquire ace Justin Verlander from the underachieving Mets. No other details yet on the deal. It is the perfect move for Verlander, says ESPN's Eduardo Perez.
Right back home where he was. Look, Jim Crane knows Justin Verlander really well. They have been able to negotiate well in the past. He goes into Texas again, and I think Houston is the place. Houston's a place where he's already won a World Series championship. It's familiar to he and his family.
Houston's just a half game back of AL West leading Texas and holds the second AL wildcard spot. Blue Jays acquired infielder Paul DeJong from the Cardinals. He gives Toronto insurance after Bo Bichette left last night's game with knee soreness. Padres acquiring lefty starter Rich Hill and first baseman Ji-Man Choi from the Pirates. Braves added an experienced left-hander to their bullpen, acquired reliever Brad Hand from the Rockies. Tiger Woods has joined the PGA Tour Policy Board for the first time in his 27 years on the tour. This is the first time players have outnumbered independent directors on that board.
If you need last-minute hires in no time, you need Indeed. Their integrated hiring solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
Yeah, you're right, it is. Andy Sawmiller already in the YouTube comments. This is the best damn show on YouTube. And frankly, on ESPN Asheville. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy. We are heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And we can be seen live in the Ingalls studio each and every afternoon that we are here.
We're back from humanitarian efforts. Which turned me into a Burntman. I am a very Burntman.
Filthy Phil philanthropist over here. Just, doing the Lord's work. Just out there raising money for charities.
And here's the
left
thing.
And right.
We raised plenty of money. I will say this. I learned some valuable lessons. We played in the Warhorse Cup on Friday. Played in the Rocket Cup yesterday. Here's a few things I learned. The Warhorse Invitational is a much boozier event.
Boozier, not bougie.
Not bougie. No. It is. There were many beverages to be had, and I could consume none of them because I had to go commentate Tough Man at lovely Silverados. Mm-hmm. So legally, you can't drink and be ringside. So I had no ability to consume beverages at the Warhorse. But yesterday, the whole day, beautiful golf course. We got a team. I am ready to go. There was not a stitch of alcohol on that entire golf course, and I went, what is Popeye without his spinach?
I was going to say, I thought that went hand in hand. Does golf and beer not go hand in hand?
It usually does. And then there was and that's a markedly tougher golf course at Kenmure. And, yeah. Jeremy played 18 holes with no beverages. You'd think that would help.
Right.
It didn't.
It didn't help. Well, so, sometimes you got to get that, you got to get in the groove.
We hit some shots. It was fine.
To do it pharmaceutically aided?
It was a great time. I was, you ever get mentally prepared? Like, I am going to consume 104 beers.
Yes.
And then there are none. And you go, what do I do now? I brought my American flag bandana, got my mullet down, got my fanny pack that holds 4 beverages. Now what? I guess now we just play golf.
Right.
And somehow I wound up getting horrendously burnt. The back of my legs are the same color as your shirt. And every movement I make, I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to stop moving.
Feel good.
That's not good. I got to stop moving.
Jeremy got burnt to a crisp out on the golf courses Friday and Monday.
Friday I was good. It rained Friday. Got to see as my grandfather would call it, a saipukas, which is where it rains. Well, that's where it rains at a level that is usually reserved for a hurricane. But we had one. We had one here in the middle of a golf round. And Brian Hall and News No Mark Starling and myself, we ran like scalded cats.
I bet that was fun to watch.
Yes. We came power sliding into the clubhouse like, cover!
So what you're saying is you're weak.
Yeah, I'm a house cat. I'm a house cat. I don't go outside. And this is
A
why.
little bit of rain ain't gonna hurt you that bad.
That was not a little bit of rain. That was.
What was
it's
an hour? It was like an
sideways.
hour delay on the course.
Something
like
at least.
that.
May have been longer than that.
I think that's what I heard about it. Well, I'm glad you had fun, opportunity to help raise some money, charity golf events to support two great athletic programs in our area, the Owen Warhorses and the AC Reynolds Rockets. I don't know why, but it doesn't surprise me that Owen drinks and AC doesn't. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what the indictment is on that, or if there is one.
Well,
but
I mean, we've both met Kenny Ford, so
I will say do better, AC.
If we're going from the top down, I can guarantee you there is no tournament that will ever be had that is championed by Kenny Ford where there are not beverages
There
somewhere.
has to be beverages consumed before,
And that's
during,
one of many
and after.
things that I love about Coach Ford.
He's a man after your own heart. Unfortunately, we have another day off coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. We got a Braves game coming up tomorrow here on ESPN Asheville, so there will be no afternoon show once again.
Yeah, we're making Congress look studious at this point.
Hey, it's the summer weeks because, in case you didn't know, stop the presses, stop what you're doing right now. We have 2 days to football.
And there will not be another week without football until 2024.
Granted, it's the Hall of Fame game coming up on Thursday, but the Jets are involved, so obviously the Ginger Ninja is heavily invested in the Hall of Fame.
I've
game.
already got a bet on it. I will watch every second of it. Yeah, I have a Hall of Fame.
Preseason football.
100% I do.
Come on.
100% I do.
Go ahead and tell it.
We got a bill on the Jets. Jets catching a point and a half. Let's go.
Okay.
We got a bill on the old JETS.
See, and that's when you know you have a problem.
Kellen Mond.
When you're
Chris Streveler.
When you're wagering for your team to cover a spread in the preseason.
I was trying to wager tough man fights. Legally, I was not allowed to, and trust me, they informed me of that quite judiciously.
Well, as somebody sitting ringside, obviously, you cannot have any dog in the fight.
I didn't actually try to wager it. Now, if I could have, as soon as I saw Sandre Simmons, who was he was the heavyweight champion, I would have bet my ability to have fun for the rest of my life that nobody is getting in a ring with that dude and walking out, and I would have been right. He walked by me in the green room, and I went, you want to know why Jeremy doesn't fight in these things? That guy right there is why I don't fight in these things. Because, I might be able to land one, but he is going to punch back, and I don't want to.
Well, you were rubbing elbows with some living legends, Brad Johnson, Kenny Ford. Who else?
That I've seen.
There was a Roy Williams sighting.
There was
I heard,
a Roy Williams
at
sighting
at the one yesterday. So
yep.
You were rubbing some elbows with some famous people. I got to meet Mike Rucker this weekend, which was pretty cool. He was one of my favorite Carolina Panthers of all time, and he was down at the Back Together festivities on Saturday morning in Spartanburg at Wofford University. That I had never been down there before. I'd never been to training camp, never even been on the campus.
I have, and let's see if you had the same takeaways that I did. That is the hottest place on earth.
It wasn't actually that bad. I mean, I already know the stories of horrid heat during Panthers training camp down there.
Oh,
but
yeah, you have to wear shoes with really good soles, or you will not have shoes because they will melt.
Thankfully, it was pretty mild. Everything got going about 11 o'clock in the morning, so the real true heat of the day hadn't kicked in yet. It was a little overcast.
So it wasn't horribly hot for you?
No, I mean,
Awesome.
it was really humid.
Yeah, you know what that means?
It was about 80.
You know what that means? It means it's going to be swelteringly hot for me next week.
Oh, absolutely. When you go down for Jets camp next week.
I'll be going down, and you'll just be seeing heat lines in the air. Like, oh, awesome. The air looks liquid.
The heat miser has now arrived.
Here's the thing. You think I'm burnt now? Wait till you see me coming back from the concrete jungle that is Wofford.
I loved it, though.
How many trees did you see?
There were more than you let on.
Okay.
I mean, not next to the field,
there
obviously.
It is. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, I mean if you're talking about driving down the interstate, you see plenty of trees there.
I mean, they do have that there's a hill in either the north or the south end zone. I didn't get my compass out to tell you which one, but they do have that, one end zone that's got a hill on it, and it's got a tree line, and you could you could get some shade there.
I remember the last time I was there, they called it a park. There's a little park, right? It's down the way from where Panther training camp is.
Mm-hmm.
They said there's a park right there. So I thought, okay, I'll go down there and hide under a tree because, that's what parks have. Their park had a tree that was about the same height as me and didn't have no leaves on it. And I went, well, that's not going to achieve what I was after.
That's not what I was looking for.
Not what I was looking for.
I mean, I was thoroughly impressed. I had seen pictures of the inside of the basketball arena before, but never actually been inside of it. The Jerry Richardson Auditorium, or whatever the name of the stadium is, just phenomenal. It was a great setup by the Panthers, great setup by Wofford University. A great time was had by all. The boys really got a good kick out of it. We were on the front row of the stands, and I was trying to get them to hang for the entire training camp because they were hot and they were miserable and they just wanted to go home because there was no shade. And
how long did they make it?
The little paper fans that they gave us in the fanfare, those lasted for about 20 minutes before they finally broke them, waving them so hard, trying to, cool off. We made it until about 30 minutes before practice was over, so I think it was about 12:15 when we finally left. I finally relented and said, fine, let's leave, because, like I said, we were on the front row. So as soon as practice was over, you knew every one of those guys was going to come over and start signing autographs. Or not all of them, but, a good portion. I couldn't get them to hang around for that, but it was a lot of fun.
I'm not an autograph guy. I have never been that guy.
If it's there and they're offering, I'm not going to say no.
I had somebody ask me for my autograph at Tough Man over the weekend. And
you gave it to them.
100% I did. If you ever really want to have a full Jeremy Green experience and you see me in public, ask me to sign something. You'll tell me to shut up. Because I still get to a point where I'm like, I don't know why you want that, but I'll totally do it for you. And then I feel obligated to sit there and talk for 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, that happened. Mm-hmm. That happened a few times.
Yeah. I'm not that guy. I mean, you can ask me and I'll be nice and I'll sign something for you, but I'm immediately going to tell you it's worth nothing.
Oh yeah,
you don't want me to sign that. The value of whatever you want me to sign
just
will
went
plummet.
Down.
Exactly.
I signed it. Now it's worth less than it was when you handed it to me.
Right.
It's just a cup from the Tough Man.
But this is a Sportsocracy T-shirt. Yeah, and it was worth $12 when you bought it. Then I signed it, and now it's worth $2 at the Goodwill.
Oh yeah, you don't want to Goodwill that. It's a rare keepsake.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever? Well, I guess not. Here's where I was going with that. You ever been in a Goodwill and then found clothes from the place you work? Because I have done that.
No, I have not.
And I went, oh, these used to belong to so-and-so. I mean, because the radio business is small. So you knew it had to be one of 5 people who had gotten rid of their clothes. Like, oh, this used to belong to so-and-so who worked right down the hall from me.
You can usually tie that back in radio. Hey, I remember when he got fired.
Yeah. Did y'all get this about 3 weeks ago? Yep, that makes sense.
3 years, 2 months. Am I right? It's almost like a carnival trick. I can tell you exactly how long you've possessed this.
Yeah, so between the trip down to Panthers training camp, it's nice to see all the Panthers and get an inside look at what's going on in training camp and torturing my children. This was a fantastic weekend for me.
Oh yeah, I told Tank he had to tell this story.
So, have you ever seen the movie 1408?
I have not.
Jeremy has not. We know that because he doesn't watch movies. But the movie 1408, it's a rated R Stephen King story. It was one of the first R-rated movies I've let my children watch. They're 12 years old.
And they've gotten to the point
there are some R-rated movies that aren't too bad.
And now they think they're brave. They're all in of we can watch scary movies. We're good.
Right.
This is I'm not going to lie. I didn't know you had this in you. And when this story was communicated to me, I laughed until I cried.
So in the movie 1408, it's about a haunted hotel, and John Cusack plays a writer who writes about all these haunted places, and this is supposed to be the most evil place on the planet. Like, you can't even go in the room for more than 5 seconds without having a heart attack or something like that. Well, he goes and he stays in this room, and at one point, things start happening in the room. Well, the radio keeps clicking on, and it's the same song over and over and over again. It's We've Only Begun. And you can
Which
imagine,
is super creepy when you put it in that context.
Creepy song. You got ghosts, doing weird things on the screen while the Carpenters are playing in the background. So the other night we get hellacious storms, right? And so Sunday night, 10:30, the power goes out. And I decided, for whatever reason, I'm going to have to create the biggest laugh I've ever created in my entire life. And I went.
You chose violence. You went the Jeremy Green path of being a badman.
The house is completely dark. The kids have already said, we don't want to sleep down in our bedroom. We want to be up on the upper level with y'all. We'll feel safer if we're in the living room. And I said, okay, y'all go make your little pallet in the living room and y'all can sleep in there. Well, while they were getting all their stuff together, I snuck my Bluetooth speaker in there and put it right behind their heads where they were going to be sleeping. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I had the Carpenters queued up on my iHeartRadio app, little plug, and I just couldn't wait to hit the button. And then I waited till it got real silent, and I hit the button. And they lost their minds. Now, Joseph was more affected than Joshua was. Joshua immediately went, oh my God! And then, Dad, you're a creep. Why did you do that? Joseph lost all sense of his being. And he was big boy crying, like in the floor. And I was the worst dad on the planet because I could not help myself but lean over him and practically 6 inches from his face just gutter laugh. Oh.
Amy and I were so proud of you. When your wife posted this on social media, and the thought of all of these things, knowing you the way that I do, I don't know that I've ever been prouder. Because that's something I would do.
I was just so giddy waiting to hit the button at the right moment. And then they calmed down and everything was fine until 10 minutes later I snuck back in there, put it back in there and did it again. And then they had to sleep in our room from there on.
Yeah, so you overplayed your hand there.
I mean, I did. It was going to be a miserable night anyway because the power went out at 10:30. Our house gets hotter than the 7th level of hell in the middle of the night. And so I knew I was getting no sleep anyway. But it was well worth staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning on a day where I had to report for my brand new job at 3:30 just to get that laugh in. Now, I have to pose the question. Did I go too far? Was that too evil of me? Or would you have done the same thing I did and had to laugh at this?
Well, I mean, my answer is not only would I have done that, I would have gone further. I would have had a battery-powered generator turning lights on. I would have steered into this aggressively.
It was the best thing I could do on the fly was, ooh, there's a way to torture my children now that the power's out.
I would have gone and got a chainsaw out of the garage and just started running it at full speed. But that's because I'm a jerk. We all know that out of me. I think, on the other hand, it was a little surprising. So did he go too far, or is that just really, really funny?
You're at the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people.
I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina.
Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Got chronic joint pain but want to avoid steroids and surgery? Take some advice from pro football legend Emmitt Smith. Call QC Kinetics.
Let QC Kinetics help you improve your quality of life with biologic therapies that get your body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
These exciting new regenerative treatments from local medical professionals can help your body heal itself with lasting pain relief.
Trust me, you want to avoid surgery if you can. Check out these biologic treatments to see what your options are.
QC Kinetics. Restorative, regenerative solutions with no downtime, no surgery, no drugs.
I'm talking about joint pain we all can relate to in your knees, your shoulders, your hips, and your lower back. They'll get you feeling good again.
Get relief now.
What are you waiting on? Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
On How Rude, Tanneritos, the Full House Rewatch podcast. Join characters Stephanie Tanner and Kimmy Gibbler, also known as actresses Jodie Sweetin and Andrea Barber, as they relive every episode of your favorite Friday night comfort show.
We spent our entire childhoods on a little show called Full House, playing frenemies, but becoming besties whenever the cameras weren't rolling. And now, 35 years later, it's our biggest adventure yet.
Listen to How Rude, Tanneritos on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
I mean, I felt it was. I mean, I guess some people could say I went a little too far, but
you're getting no objection out of me.
You know, act all big and bad. I can take it.
You get no objection out of me.
Let's see. Let's see how scaredy you are, scaredy cat. It is ESPN Asheville. You are in the Sportsocracy. Coming to you live from the Ingalls studio. By the way, tomorrow, 7 to 7, iHeartRadio Asheville. Obviously involved every year in the Tools for Schools school supply drive. Smoky Park Highway, Ingalls, the new big flashy one. That's where they're going to be. 12 hours tomorrow for the Tools for Schools school supply drive. You want to make sure that all the kids go back to school with all the tools that they need for success. Partnering up with our good friends at Eblin Charities. Jeremy, you're going to be out there tomorrow morning?
Yes, I'll be there 9 to 11. I'll have my gigantic hoggle of coffee. You will see how much caffeine it actually takes to start this car and get it to run throughout the day.
Indeed.
So come by, say hello, bring some supplies for the children, cash donations, all of those things. And you will be there at some point.
At some point, I will make an appearance. I'll probably come out there while you're there. After I get wrapped up here.
You're our newest iHeartRadio employee, so
Indeed. I didn't get put on the official schedule because it all just came through last week. But still, I will be making an appearance out there representing my beloved iHeartRadio Asheville, both the First News on 570 Morning Show, and, of course, this year, Sportsocracy program. So that's tomorrow, 7 to 7 at the Smoky Park, Ingalls, for the Tools for Schools school supply drive with us, Ingalls Supermarkets, and, of course, Eblin Charities.
Something happened, though, in the course of our 4-day vacation, and it directly involves somebody that you have a great affinity for.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a funny feeling we're going to have very differing opinions on this.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor wants to be traded by the Indianapolis Colts because Jim Irsay did that thing Jim Irsay does. I'm not going to say what that is.
Probably, no,
it probably involves crimes of some kind.
Can't be proven. He suffers to me from one of the greatest crimes that any executive can have, whatever business you be in, whether it be football or just, retail.
Money laundering?
No.
Oh,
no.
That's one of the greatest crimes.
No filter. He has no filter on what he says,
Yeah,
and
the
how he
question
says
is-
it, and when he says it.
Yeah, the question is, but why? But why does he have no filter? And I have a funny feeling it's because he got the opposite of down on crimes. That is the only explanation that I have for why he would go to Twitter and basically say, we're not paying Jonathan Taylor under any circumstances.
No, and I just can't wrap my head around how you got to this point. One, how Jim Irsay did not see this coming. He has no problem, apparently, with a standoff relationship with his best player. You rolled your eyes like you thought that was a question. Jonathan Taylor is the best player for the Indianapolis Colts, true or false? True.
I mean, I would say Quentin Nelson, DeForest Buckner, and Shaq Leonard all have a. They would all like a word.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree to disagree.
No,
Not a slight at those guys.
He's the best player for your fantasy football team. This is exactly what we're doing for the 11 billionth time.
For the 11 billionth time. So, of course, the running backs and their pay have been in the news all throughout this offseason because the Saquon Barkley thing with Josh Jacobs, just, you name it. Now Dalvin Cook apparently can't get signed to anywhere because no one will give him money. Running back position
he can get signed right now by the New York Fighting Football Jets.
The running back position is devalued because it's such a replaceable position.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with any of that, but Jonathan Taylor does it as well as anybody else in the league.
2 years ago, I would 100% agree with you.
And you think in 1 year, because last year he was playing hurt and had numerous injuries on his offensive line that couldn't open holes, and oh, by the way, he did not have a quarterback that anybody was scared of, you think he's lost it?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
You said he does it better than anybody in the NFL. I do not agree with you that he is that good. I never have, and I probably never will. Now, this is where the disconnect falls for me. You have always been an unabashed Jonathan Taylor apologist,
yes,
fanboy,
just fan.
Frankly, I wouldn't be shocked if you wrote him letters with locks of your hair in it.
I mean, I haven't gone that far, but
I can't prove it one way or the other, but it wouldn't surprise me.
If I found a friendship bracelet somewhere, I might offer it to him.
Would you leave him your phone number? Would you try to go Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift?
Absolutely. I would give him the hotline number.
Here's the thing. This is what Jim Irsay was trying to say. He just was the opposite of low on crimes as he was Xing. Can we go back to Twitter? Like, the X thing is really stupid. While he was tweeting, what difference does Jonathan Taylor make for the Indianapolis Colts right now? All right? Let's say he has one of these Saquon Barkley come to Jesus meetings in his own head, and he goes, you know what? I've just got to go play. What are the Indianapolis Colts?
What do you mean, what are they?
What are
their
they?
record?
Yeah. What is that team?
I don't know, 6-win team at
6
best.
6-11, 7-10.
Yeah.
Without Jonathan Taylor, he decides, I am standing on my moral high ground, and he goes full Mel Gibson in Braveheart. Who's coming with me? What is that team without him?
5 wins.
6-11 or 7-10. Nothing changes. They're the same mediocre, bad team with him or without him. So why would I pay you early?
Mm-hmm.
Running backs. It doesn't matter the name on your jersey. All that matters is the position you play. So you want to die on this hill? Have at it. Have at it. There's a report out right now from Albert Breer. NFL teams are planning on calling on Jonathan Taylor. I'm sure they are. And you know what they're going to offer? Nothing close to what Indianapolis will take. Because I would say that takes a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
No shot.
Nobody gives.
No shot I'm giving you a second-round pick to then have to pay a guy who I'm probably going to regret the last 2 years of that deal almost no matter what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like, to me, this is the equivalent of being mad at the sky for being blue. What are you going to do about it? What exactly are you going to do about it?
To me, the difference in this situation is to me it's kind of apples and oranges compared to the Josh Jacobs situation. Like Josh Jacobs won't play because he refuses to play for $10 million.
Oh,
right?
And by the way, he is not subject to $50,000 fines. I've been waiting 4 days to correct something that I said incorrectly. He's not actually under contract, so they can't fine him.
Right. Okay. Anyway, I think to me this is a completely different situation because this didn't start out as a money grab in the truer senses of the word for Jonathan Taylor. He obviously in the rush of all the NFL running backs reacting to the market when this all exploded over Saquon Barkley, he reacted along with others, Austin Eckler and all those guys, talking about how we're not paid enough or that we're disrespected or something like that. He didn't even say, I need more money or I feel like I need more money. He didn't go down this turn, this characteristic turn, until his owner started lobbying against him. And when Jim Irsay comes out and says, well, we're not going to renegotiate just running back contracts, he didn't say anything wrong. It would be inappropriate for the league to go back and look at a different pay structure for running backs. He was completely true in that.
That is our first super chat of the day from Stephen Towle.
I'm your huckleberry.
Said Jim Irsay said and did nothing wrong for once, and I agree with him.
See, and that's where I don't agree, because after that, that started the snowball of I'm not respected from Jonathan Taylor, and Jim Irsay basically saying I don't care.
And my question would be, why is he supposed to care? All right, you got drafted in this league as a second-round pick, which means you signed a 4-year deal. You are going into the 4th year. Why? Oh, for the love of all that's good and holy, why, coming off your worst year as a pro, going into a contract year where, oh, by the way, I can franchise you twice, and there's not nary a thing you can do about it. Why would I extend you? You're asking business owners to be stupid with their business. Now, do I love that he went to the old Xbox? Nope, that doesn't work. Twitter box to say these things. I could probably do without that, but do I care? No. No. Jonathan Taylor, you have no leverage here. I don't care how good you are. The best long snapper in the NFL has only a little less leverage than you do. You know why? Because there's 100 guys in this league that could be valuable running backs. Are they going to be Jonathan Taylor? Probably not. Might be. Could very well be. Look at Alexander Madison. Minnesota fully believes they lose nothing from Dalvin Cook to Alexander Madison. I've been told that by 2 people close to that team. Why would I pay you? And now, the craziest part of this to me is that they had a meeting on Jim Irsay's motor coach outside the practice facility, and that is when Jonathan Taylor decides to go to the media. You come out of that, and I can only imagine that, Jim Irsay's low on crimes, on his motor coach, maybe with a little light dusting on his face, and you go, I want to be paid right now. And Jim Irsay just goes, I wish I was 4 inches taller and crimes were cheaper. I poo in one hand and want the other. See which one fills up faster. Right. That's where I'm at.
I have a hard time with this because the whole diva running back thing, the whole diva NFL player thing would fly in the face of everything that Jonathan Taylor has proven to be since he was a freshman in college.
I'm not saying he's a diva.
Look, I started watching.
I'm saying he wants long-term security at a position that doesn't have
Absolutely, and I get it. But I don't think that's part of this anymore. I think part of it is a respect thing for him now. Like, he feels disrespected by Jim Irsay going out into the media and saying things like, if I died tonight and Jonathan Taylor died tonight, the NFL would go on. Did he say anything wrong?
Nope.
No, because the NFL would go on without it. But you don't say that.
You know what I thought when I heard that? Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, one of those is much more likely than the other.
Right. But you don't, you just don't, it's just not something that you do. Because there you have your boss in a public forum is basically telling everybody that you're trash and you're worthless and you mean nothing to them. Okay, well then why am I here? Why did you draft me? Why did you bring me? And I think that's where Jonathan's at. Jonathan's like, okay, you don't want me here. You're not going to respect me. Then fine, I'll trade me. Get me out of here.
Well, and I'll be honest with you. If somebody would come along with a formidable trade offer, they probably would. They're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy we used a second-round pick on 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking less than that to move you, and nobody's giving that much up to pay you. And here's the problem. This is, and I've said this ad nauseum. All of these running backs have an issue with how they're paid and where things are. Just look at let's go to the old scoreboard, shall we? Saquon Barkley, I might miss week 1. Oh, yeah, he'll be there. And he got a real pay raise. They gave him 7 packs of peanut M&Ms and a 12-pack of Diet Cokes. And he went, yeah! I win.
That's a win.
I had a euphoric moment.
I beat the market.
And I realized that this was the best I was going to do. Austin Eckler, they gave him a $5 off coupon to the local In-N-Out burger, and he went, let's go! Bolt up! The next time one of you wins, we'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
But until one of you win, because you're the Washington Generals of the NFL, you just trot yourself out here to get slaughtered every time we do this. Till then, I'm good. You want to be mad? That's fine. You won't be mad. You know when you won't be mad? When you start catching $50,000 fines a day because you're not here, which when you're making peanuts, that adds up pretty quickly. And all of a sudden, we'll all be hunky-dunky. In the chat, I'm seeing them talking about the back injury.
Yes.
Okay, this is all I can tell you about the back injury. He failed the physical. I can't tell you why he failed it. If the doctor says it's because of the back, and yes, the doctor does work for the team, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to put him on the NFI, they're totally inclined to do that. And you know what you can do about it? Squat. That defecate in one hand and want in the other thing I was talking about earlier. That's what you can do.
Yeah. Or there's something more nefarious going on here.
Oh, as to how we got here? I can't tell you something nefarious didn't happen. I can't tell you they didn't tell the doctor.
Because Jonathan Taylor's out here swearing to God he never had a back pain, never told anybody that he had, never reported back pain to the doctors or whatever.
Don't buy it.
I don't
never
know.
bought it.
I don't know.
I hear this with NFL doctors at least once a year of, that doctor's making something up. So you're telling me somebody that went through 1 billion years of medical school is now risking their license and their ability to practice their craft for the rest of their lives to spite you on a back injury that you're probably going to have some mutual understanding 2 weeks from now anyway. Yeah, you see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud? I think this every single time.
Mm-hmm.
In all the years I've been covering the NFL, I've seen one doctor where I went, you did something so wrong that you don't deserve to practice, and that was with Tyrod Taylor with the Chargers.
Yep.
That's it. That's the only time it's ever happened.
Yep.
So, for me...
Somebody's lying in this scenario, and I don't know who it is.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling we're going to find out.
This is the same thing that I've always said. As parents, this is what you should say to your children. You have a problem. I understand your problem. What exactly do you want me to do about it? I don't want to go to bed. Well, you have to, or you'll die, because sleep is part of life. I don't want to eat green beans. Okay, probably the solution is that you weigh 400 pounds if you want to live off peanut M&Ms and Diet Cokes. So there's a yin and a yang to all of this.
350. Those Diet Cokes matter. Trying to watch the figure.
Slimming down. I'll have a number 2 large with a Diet Coke.
I don't know. The whole we could put him on the NFI and not have to pay him thing, and then him saying I'm not hurt at all. That your sources are off. It's all just weird. And to me, as somebody who has followed Jonathan Taylor for 4 years or 5 years or whatever it's been, it would fly in the face of everything he's built up. Perfect guy in the locker room, perfect guy on the field, all about the team, ready to go out there and get it. And then all of a sudden, Jim Irsay starts talking smack about running backs, and now he's turned into a diva.
And you're the one saying diva. Indianapolis is not saying he's being a diva.
No, everybody else is.
You're wanting something that I don't want to give you because I don't have to. Does it not strike you as strange that of all the players that are having this issue at this point in camp, all but one of them are running backs? And the one that's not a running back plays a position where 8 guys have gotten high-end top-of-the-market contracts, and he's sitting there going, oh, but what about me? Yep, my turn. And his will get resolved. The running backs, let me look into my crystal ball here of how this is going to end with the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, got it. 4 bags of spinach and 1 free tank of gas. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Colts.
This is the Sportsocracy, and you're listening on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Humidity makes a comeback later this week. We have been enjoying some comfortable low humidity here into early August, but humidity steps up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so do the rain chances. I think we'll see some thunderstorms later this week. Heaviest rainfall looks to be Thursday across Asheville. Mid-60s in the valley tonight. Chance for an afternoon shower tomorrow, high 80 degrees. Heavier rains Thursday, 73. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
When you see a roach over there, you want it gone. Ew. Fast. STEM's Bug Killer Trigger is powered by active ingredients found in plants and kills roaches faster than Zevo's Bug Killer Trigger based on lab testing on the most common U.S. cockroach species. STEM. Rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Tired of a job with no spark? Then join Emery Electric, the Southeast's premier electrical contractor. Competitive pay, a supportive team, and career growth await. Power up your career. Visit EmeryElectric.com/careers. That's EMORY electric.com.
If you're suffering and there's a safe, natural, easy-to-use solution to help make you feel better, wouldn't you at least want to try? Why millions of people use Navage Nasal Care to help relieve their symptoms of sinus congestion, allergies, snoring, and other nasal-related problems. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Dee, a verified Navage user who writes, "From years of having a permanently stuffed up nose to being able to breathe is life-changing. Food tastes better, and I no longer go through boxes of tissue a day," unquote. Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Join iHeartMedia for the 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities. We'll be at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway this Wednesday from 7A to 7P, collecting school supplies and monetary donations to help students and teachers right here in Western North Carolina. Let's make sure every student and teacher has the supplies they need to succeed in the 23-24 school year. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a $2,600 gift card to Ingalls. The 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities and iHeartMedia. Can't make it down? Text STUDENT to 345-345.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people.
I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina.
I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. Hey, had some fun last night filling in on the Sports Freak show. Thoughts and prayers have to go out to our good friend Pressbox Seth, longtime producer here around the Asheville area and here at iHeartRadio Asheville.
And his twin brother Justin.
Yes, Seth.
Great friends of us
and
around
Justin lost their mother on Friday, and we just want them to know that we're thinking about them. There is a GoFundMe set up to help the family with the funeral expenses. We'll have that. We can post that up on the social medias. We can put it in the YouTube description. We can get it out there so you can support Pressbox Seth and his family in this tough time. But I was filling in last night on the Sports Freak show with Sports Freak Mike Morgan, former WLOS sportscaster, and we got to talk some baseball last night. So that was fun to finally sit in a room with somebody who you can say the word baseball and then they go, who cares? Well, there are some of us that care about the game.
You do that as much as I do.
I do, but it's only because you have rubbed off on me so much over the years. It's all your fault.
So it's my fault.
Indeed. But one thing, whether you whether you like baseball or you don't like baseball, it's just not your thing. We can all agree on one thing, that we hate terrible officiating. Terrible umpires in baseball.
This has to be an Angel Hernandez
story. Oh, God,
story.
it is. Hey, did you see this?
I don't even watch baseball, and I know that. I don't know this story, but I knew where you were headed.
Angel Hernandez disappeared from calling Major League Baseball games early in the season. People started to notice, and they had to ask, what's up with Angel Hernandez? Why is he not out there? My question would have been, did you guys finally learn that he's not good at his job and just fired him? Well, apparently he was out due to a, quote, medical matter, according to the Major League Umpires Director, Randy Marsh. And he was working some minor league games to work his way back up. It's like a rehab start, Pitchers go through this. Well, apparently umpires get it too. He went to his rehab starts in the minors, made his major league debut or his comeback to the major leagues just in time for the Washington Nationals and the Milwaukee Brewers. During the fifth inning, Nationals outfielder Alex Cole made an attempt to steal second base and was tagged by Brewers shortstop Willie Adames. Of course, Angel Hernandez, not knowing where he is on the planet, he might as well be president of the United States of America.
True international average of pressure.
He said safe, despite the fact that anyone with a brain, anyone with an IQ above salad dressing could have seen that he was clearly out. The guy not only tagged him from shoulder all the way to tip of foot before he even got to the bag.
And what am I doing here?
It was inconsequential because thankfully we have instant replay. We have manager challenges now. They challenged it. It was quickly overturned. Angel Hernandez, welcome back to the bigs. Would you please retire, sir? We're done with you just making a mockery of umpiring. And we hate all of you. And the fact that you're the most hated should tell you something.
Just so people don't think I'm on either side of the aisle.
Fool again.
Can't get fooled again.
Bingo. Hey, maybe we should elect a president with an IQ above a rat trap. My story comes from the Tennessee Titans. I was a Mike Vrabel detractor for a long time.
Yes.
Then I figured out he's a pretty good coach. Now I look at his roster and go, well, you're a good coach, and that's the only reason I don't think you're going to win 4 games, because your roster is poopy. Well, they've had a little bit of an issue that a lot of other teams around the NFL seem to be having, which is fights. I have never understood why anybody would go, hey, you know what I'm going to do? Punch that guy with a helmet on. That's dumb. You ought not do that because it doesn't make not nary a lick of sense. You're also on the same team. Mike Vrabel's gotten tired of it. So he went full gladiator, said, I'm going to stop it. And would you like to know what he did to stop it?
I would love to know.
He installed a sand pit. Stephen Tao has said this many times of when I was a child, I thought quicksand would be a much bigger problem than it is. He put in a full-in sand pit, and now anytime a Titan player gets into a fight at practice, they have to go finish the workout in the sand pit. I don't know if you've ever done a beach workout. I just realized who I was asking that to. So there was no shot that your answer was yes. So I will tell you, as somebody that has done that long ago in the before times, it's not awesome. It kind of feels like your feet are tied to the ground and you're trying to get away from the sand and it doesn't want you to. That might be the most genius thing I've ever heard. A coach, that's a great punishment.
Brilliant.
It's also hot as blue blazes because sand absorbs heat, which means it stays real hot for a real long time. I don't know when the last time you went to Nashville, Tennessee was. It's hot.
Yeah.
Like end of eternity, the angry sun in Super Mario hot. Good for you, Mike Vrabel. What a boy.
He is a hell of a coach. I think his name might be mentioned later on in the program. We're going to talk about coaches coming up in the top of the third hour of the program. Daily draft today. We're going to draft our coaches in the daily draft. If you're starting a franchise, who would you pick right now to lead your team? Seems like a good Tuesday topic here in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy, he's got some bangers coming up next.
I'm back, baby!
At Ingalls, we know your closest companions are the ones who are always there for you. The ones you trust to have your back, no matter what. Who make the hard times a little softer. And the good ones, somehow, a little better. That's what family is all about. Whether they walk on 2 legs or 4. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there.
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
The free iHeartRadio app covers the sports teams you love like no one else. Catch the latest breaking news, plus the upcoming NFL season's just around the corner. And iHeartRadio is your official podcast partner of the NFL. Make the iHeart app your go-to to stay up to date on all things in the sports world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and Frosty Duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
Join iHeartMedia for the 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities. We'll be at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway this Wednesday from 7A to 7P, collecting school supplies and monetary donations to help students and teachers right here in Western North Carolina. Let's make sure every student and teacher has the supplies they need to succeed in the 23-24 school year. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a $2,600 gift card to Ingalls. The 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities and iHeartMedia. Can't make it down? Text STUDENT to 345-345.
Closers on me. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
I'm back after a weekend of fights to give you more futures in the NFL. We've been to the AFC South. We've been to the NFC South. Now we head to the AFC North. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. This is the tightest division in all of the NFL. The favorite Bengals are plus 150 to win this division, and the Steelers are the underdog at plus 425. No division in the NFL outside of the NFC North has tighter odds than that. I could get behind any team you want to give me. Cincinnati is probably who wins this division, but at plus 150, you're just not getting much bang for your buck. Baltimore, that's the one I like the least because I don't really see a way they win the division, and at plus 220, you're not far behind the Bengals. The two that intrigue me, the Steelers at plus 425, I've had worse dart throws, but the Cleveland Browns at plus 380. I think this team is as talented as any in football, and we seem to be forgetting just how good Deshaun Watson was before all of his issues and the exit from Houston. I think he can become that guy again with Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore and all of the weapons that he's got, and that defense just being competent, which it wasn't last year. I'm taking Cleveland plus 380 as my long shot to win the division, but it could pay off quite nicely. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy, and as always, love the savings with Ingalls, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Humidity makes a comeback later this week. We have been enjoying some comfortable low humidity here into early August, but humidity steps up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so do the rain chances. I think we'll see some thunderstorms later this week. Heaviest rainfall looks to be Thursday across Asheville. Mid-60s in the valley tonight. Chance for an afternoon shower tomorrow, high 80 degrees. Heavier rains Thursday, 73. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
When you see a roach,
over there,
you want it gone.
Ew.
Fast. STEM's Bug Killer Trigger is powered by active ingredients found in plants and kills roaches faster than Zevo's Bug Killer Trigger based on lab testing on the most common U.S. cockroach species. STEM. Rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Okay, outdoor summer cocktail party fit check. I've got a hot pink and orange bodycon dress paired with vintage sneakers. It'll definitely attract attention, but not from mosquitoes. Because I'm wearing it with Off Clean Feel for 8 gorgeous hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. So I can sip, socialize, and flirt out there in the wild with absolutely unshakable confidence. Get your pre-party protection on with Off Clean Feel. SC Johnson, a family company.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We are a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
The Rolling Stones will rock royalty, and to America they came to receive their crowns. iHeartRadio's new podcast, Stones Touring Party, puts you at the epicenter, featuring never-before-heard archival interviews with the band members themselves.
The only way to do it to like that is to be as high as you can be.
The Stones become the world's greatest rock and roll band on the 1972 tour.
I'm your host, Jordan Runtag. Listen to Stones Touring Party on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your favorite shows.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, a reunion for Justin Verlander and the Astros. According to ESPN's Jeff Passan, Houston's got a deal in place to acquire Verlander from the Mets. The Astros sending their top 2 outfield prospects to New York. Verlander and the Astros won 2 World Series championships during his 5.5-year tenure in Houston. Phillies, in a logjam of NL wildcard contenders, acquired righty Michael Lorenzen from the Tigers. A couple of days after sweeping the Rangers and pivoting from sellers to buyers, Padres addressed 2 of their most glaring needs today. ESPN MLB insider Buster Olney.
This is the one time a year when small sample size can make a huge difference in baseball. And so the Padres flip from being potential sellers to being buyers. They get Rich Hill, oldest pitcher in baseball, and Ji-Man Choi, who's going to help them out at first base and at DH to try to bolster the bottom half of their lineup with their offense.
Buster on ESPN Radio Afternoons. The Braves acquired reliever Brad Hand from the Rockies, added an experienced lefty to their bullpen. Broncos confirmed receiver Tim Patrick has a torn Achilles. He will miss the entire season.
Long summer days call for extra hands. Hire fast with Indeed. Their hiring solution helps attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy live on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, of course, we're heard everywhere. Take us with you everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. See us live on your smart device or your computer screen. Or heck, you can put us on your television. There's so many ways that you can watch us now. But it's all through YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. Still have time to get in. This is the last couple of weeks here to get in on the Beer City's Ultimate Fantasy Draft experience with us. The red carpet treatment for you and your league. We will call out all the picks, commissioner style. Jeremy and he's got a slate of buddies that are getting ready to rip apart all your draft choices. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
I'll be your Mel Kiper. Be a fun time.
It's just as a fantasy draft should be. We'll stream it online, all that kind of stuff as well. So get in on the contest. The links are in the description of each and every YouTube video that we have put out for the last several weeks. You can find it very, very easily. You can also get in on the Battle for the Belt with us, which, once again, your entry fees into that go to Eblin Charities. The early cutoff for the Tools for Schools, obviously with Tools for Schools being tomorrow. Tell you more about that coming up later on in the hour. You can get involved with that with Eblin Charities, but also we're building to the Christmas donation for the St. Nicholas Project.
Pretty soon I'm going to look like Paul Heyman walking around with 2 belts. Yeah.
All of the things, get in on those contests because we will be drawing for the winner of the Ultimate Fantasy Experience coming up in the middle of this month. So get in on that while you can. We do have a little bit of...
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
And it comes to us.
Swear to God, if I ever find out where that button is.
You know, you love it. I got the moves like Jagger. It is breaking news today in the Major League Baseball world. Justin Verlander is going back to the Houston Astros, a team with which he won 2 World Series, 3-time Cy Young winner, went to the New York Mets. And who didn't see that just blowing up in grand fashion? Because Mets...
Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat.
Yeah, the Mets going Met, just like the Jets going Jet. And Justin Verlander going back to Houston to try to win another World Series after winning one with them, of course, against the Philadelphia Phillies this past season. Stephen Tao says he should just retire, just to hang it up and retire.
He's still pretty good.
And he won the Cy Young Award.
He's still pretty good.
Just last year. So if I was married to Kate Upton, I would probably go, you know what, early retirement doesn't sound all that bad. But when I'm still winning MVPs or Cy Young Awards and winning World Series, I don't think I'll be calling it a day. So there's your breaking news from baseball. The trade deadline is at 6 o'clock this evening. I think that'll be the biggest name.
Oh no, that'll be the name you know. So
indeed, and we brought it to you. We did our due diligence on baseball. Good for us. It is the Sportsocracy, and we are your home for all things football. And it's time to play the fun game that we like to call either, neither, or both.
Or as I say it, either, neither, or both.
I'm going to start us out here because you know. Name's on the door, and that's what I'm going to do. Went down to the Back Together festivities Saturday at Wofford for Panther training camp. It's a whole lot of fun. Great experience to get to see all of the guys out there just in their first open practice, see how things are working. So, Jeremy, my question to you, either, neither, or both, are you like my favorite of the first day of training camp was Miles Sanders? Miles Sanders, he was the first one on the practice field. He was the first one they got him out there. He went through a couple of drills solo with his running backs coach. Then he addresses the crowd, brand new face in Charlotte. He was the only player on the field at the time, and I'm sure they went, hey, we need somebody to talk to the crowd. So he reluctantly did so. But he went through every stage of the process with just that look of, determination on his face. Every snap was deliberate. Every drill was deliberate because he knows what's at stake for this season. He knows his career is on the line with the running back situation. So if you go to training camp, if you're a professional athlete, you go to training camp, are you the Miles Sanders that looks locked in from day one, snap one of camp? Or are you like Laviska Shenault, who I don't think there was not a person in that stadium that had a better time that day than Laviska Shenault. Dude looks good this season, by the way. Just going to throw that out. All the clippings of best shape of his life, that's Laviska Shenault. Would not stop dancing the whole time. Just everybody gravitated around him. He was the life of the party. Which one are you?
All right, you took 2 full minutes to ask me that question. I'm still not sure what you're actually asking me. So maybe paraphrase that into...
Either, neither, or both. Are you the hype guy? Would you be the hype guy at training camp, or would you be the down-to-business guy?
Oh, I'm not the down-to-business guy at all. No, I'm the one dancing constantly. Yeah, I actually just did this in another interview. We were talking about preseason football. I think this might be the dumbest thing we do. I'm excited to see my Jets in the Hall of Fame game 2 days from now. I don't really understand why we still have preseason games. Nobody plays. Camp is a big deal. This is where you get the reps in. But if I'm the veteran, I'm the one that's out signing autographs. Mm-hmm. This is supposed to be fun for the fans, and yeah, I mean, we're installing the playbook and all those things, but I'm not the back to business guy.
Okay,
that won't even look at anybody or anything like that.
Because I think my answer is both.
No, I'm the one that's going to have. I'm going to be over there with the DJ, like trying to pump the music up.
Right.
And
right.
No doubt. This is fun for the fans. This is fun for the kids. And that's what I'm hearing.
And my answer is both. And you say, wait, how can you be both? Because there was an example of both on the field on Saturday. Brian Burns. Brian Burns was locked in every time his helmet was on and he was on the field. But when he wasn't, he was the life of the party. And I think there's a great balance to be struck there.
Now, in the interviews, I will be Alan Lazard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Google, because I can't repeat what he said. But it was really funny about what his favorite number was. I'll give you a hint. It starts with a 6, and it rhymes with fine.
If you put Miles Sanders and Bryce Young's numbers together, that's what you get.
There you go.
Yeah.
You thought about that way harder than I did.
Well, it's because I took a picture of the two of them beside each other, and I kept thinking all weekend long, like there's a wine and dine joke here for the NFC South somewhere.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right, my question is much simpler and requires way less buildup. My first two are both active prop bets that you can get on DraftKings Sportsbook right now. The first one is, will the Super Bowl winner this year be a first-time Super Bowl winner? Yes, which is plus 195, which means if you wager 100, you make $195. Or no, which is minus 235, which means you'd have to wager $235 to make 100. Now, on the no side, you're getting Kansas City and Philadelphia, the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Jets, the Dolphins. But on the no side, you get the Cincinnati Bengals. You get the Buffalo Bills. Get a few others. Those were the two headliners.
Well, you got like Detroit and Jacksonville. You get like the sexy ones.
Oh, yeah, which you're there and you're probably going to make the playoffs. So I understand why you brought that up. But I'm looking at Cincinnati, who is my pick to win the Super Bowl, going, 195 is not bad. And I get Buffalo. I get a few others.
It's not bad.
So are you taking plus 195 at yes, minus 235 at no, either, neither, or both?
I'm going to lean neither because my favorites to win the Super Bowl are all on the other side. They've all done it. They've all won the Super Bowl.
So
before.
Are you confident enough in what you get on the no side?
No, that's why I said neither.
There you go.
I'm not confident enough to bet $235 to win 100 just so I can be right. But
now, if Cincinnati had beaten the Rams 2 years ago and I got Cincinnati too, yeah. Now I'm all the way in.
Absolutely.
But we're not.
But no, because on the yes side, I feel like I only have two real shots. Because as much as I like those other teams, as much as I like Jacksonville or Detroit, I don't feel like they have a chance to win a Super Bowl. Buffalo, they're the perennial loser, basically.
They're the perennial.
They're the lovable loser.
Lucy with football, just
indeed. Cincinnati Bengals, that's your only real shot. That's the only shot that I feel in my heart of hearts that this team is going to win a Super Bowl out of that group.
Eat and Sleep Football asked if I actually said that I had Cincinnati winning the Super Bowl. Yes, I do.
Yes, he did.
I do, and it's for a very simple reason. I don't think any team in the NFC can win the Super Bowl. Philadelphia, you might be so unscathed, but I don't think that team's better. The Chargers, Eric Miller said the Chargers haven't won one either, so you get them too.
Yeah, but that's another one.
But for me, you win a playoff game, then we can talk about you winning the Super Bowl. And look, I love the Chargers this year, but I'm not to that point yet. I do have Cincinnati winning the Super Bowl. And the more I think about it, the more I like it.
Right. You have to come up and you have to beat Patrick Mahomes when it matters the most. And I just don't know that Cincinnati's there. I don't know that they're ready to take that leap. But yeah, I would go neither on that one because the odds aren't good enough on the side that I want, and I really don't think I have a great shot to win it if I take the yes side of that on a team winning the Super Bowl that hasn't won it before. Either, neither, or both. Are you buying into the camp hype for Justin Ross? Have you seen this? Apparently he is balling out at camp. And he's a name that you need to watch, and that Kansas City offense once was a great wide receiver in college. Obviously had the birth defect or whatever that they found his senior senior season, and then he just kind of disappeared since then. You buying the hype on him, or the rough reporting that's going on right now with Jamison Williams, who obviously had issue with a teammate the other day, but also apparently he's dropping a ton of balls in practice, and it's got some people worried about his future. Either, neither, or both.
So for me, it's going to be either. The Jamison Williams thing does bother me.
Okay.
Because drops are really in your head as much as they are physical.
Mm-hmm.
And you were asking me about being locked in for camp. There's nobody in the NFL that should be more locked in right now than Jamison Williams, and he doesn't seem to be. This was a guy that you were screaming from the rooftops when we were talking about fantasy football that, I want to stash him on a roster.
Absolutely.
No, you don't. No, you don't. There is nothing that he has done that makes me feel like he is going to come back and be this definitive number one. Now, do I think he will be fine? I do. He had some drop issues in college, specifically when he was at Ohio State, reportedly. So I put a lot of stock in the Jameson Williams thing. Now, for Justin Ross, I've always thought that he had the talent to be an NFL receiver. I do not believe virtually anything I hear out of these, especially the initial OTAs, until I see it in a preseason game. That's about the only reason we still have these. And there will be guys that and it's not even necessarily what they do. Who do you run with? Do you run with the ones? Is Justin Ross catching even a snap with the ones? If he is, now I'm putting some more stock in this. Because Andy Reid is very merit-based. So if you see him running with the starters, it's because he has done something that legitimately makes him think he could be the 4 on that team. He's not going to be higher than that. Because I don't think he can pass Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore or Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Could he be a serviceable piece? Sure. But am I putting anything into what we've seen so far? Not really.
Nothing. Okay.
Not really.
All right. Fair enough.
My next one also comes from DraftKings Sportsbook, just like the first one did. Most improved NFL team. Who would you say is the favorite? Now, this is strictly regular season wins. The playoffs mean nothing.
Okay.
What team will have the most wins this year over what they had last year?
Okay. Just off the top of my head?
Off the top of your head. Just curious.
I mean, I'd have to say Chicago.
That's number 1.
And there's some people that have the hype around them of winning the division after being the worst team in football.
I'm one of those that have been convinced to do many stupider things. Chicago is plus 210. If you had another one, just off the top of your head.
Jets.
They are plus 1,100. They're not the team I wanted to ask about.
Okay.
The second most likely team, the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
Plus 425. Either, neither, or both.
I want to say both.
I would not touch one of these.
But I don't.
You could have one of them at plus 4 million, and I still wouldn't touch it.
I don't think I can get on board with Denver.
You're in the same boat I am.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch Denver at all.
No, because you're doing the one thing. Like, if you wanted to do the rebuild, let's do the quiet rebuild, right? Sean Payton blew that out of the water.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. You just put a target on your back.
Absolutely.
And trust me, people I've talked to around the league have said it doesn't matter that he took aim at Nathaniel Hackett. So it's not like we're going to save our guy. It's that you're trying to glorify yourself. And there has been a much louder rumble around the league of, I'd really like to take that guy down a peg. One of my favorite lines, I'd love to buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of the vibe I got around Sean Payton over the weekend.
Right.
And it's really consistent, and it doesn't matter the team. I am Seacrest out on the Denver Broncos, especially since the odds are as low as they are. Chicago Bears, we're only at 2-1 odds, and I'm not sure that I wouldn't just pour money into it.
Well, the Broncos won 5 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have them going vastly better than that this year. And Chicago only has to win, what?
Chicago wins.
They win 7 games, and there's no way Denver can catch them.
Correct. Denver would have to go 9-8
right.
if Chicago won 7 games, and I think 7 is Chicago's floor. I would say their ceiling is 10, depending on how good Justin Fields is.
I would agree with that.
If there was another team that would intrigue you, who would it be? The Houston Texans are third on this list, just for what it's worth.
Yeah, I'm not there with the Texans.
Yeah, I'm good.
if I had to go another one, long shot might be the LA Rams, just because of their coaching. But there again,
they would almost have to win 10 games.
Right, but there again, last
discussion.
year they won 5 games, and it would be very difficult for them to even get close to 9.
The Rams are plus 1,800 and one shot behind the team that I would have a little interest in.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Browns.
There again,
Cleveland
you
went 7-10. You got to win 12.
You got to win 12. Because I think 5's the mark here.
To me, there is a better chance that the Cleveland Browns win 12 games than the Rams win 10.
I'd agree.
There's a better chance of that. There's a better chance than the Saints winning 12, because the Saints are up on that list too.
Mm-hmm.
Better chance than the Jets winning 12. I don't think any of those things are happening.
No.
For me, it's Bears, Browns.
Fair enough. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road, traffic is slowing. Hendersonville Road northbound in the Fletcher area is stop and go approaching Howard Gap Road. Again, Hendersonville Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. Again, Brevard Road northbound slow approaching Clayton Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
Kane Brown,
Lil Wayne,
Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott,
Tim McGraw,
TLC,
30 Seconds to Mars.
Get your tickets now.
For 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
AXS.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Bobby, did we get that shipment of mesquite?
Jim's woodworking shop worked fine.
Good fit on those Japanese corners.
Until half his staff retired.
Wow, those cuts are neat. I'm really going to miss your precision.
He needs 4 skilled woodworker bees ASAP.
All right, this jigsaw needs a new blade.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Join iHeartMedia for the 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities. We'll be at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway this Wednesday from 7 a to 7 p collecting school supplies and monetary donations to help students and teachers right here in Western North Carolina. Let's make sure every student and teacher has the supplies they need to succeed in the 23-24 school year. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a $2,600 gift card to Ingalls. The 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities and iHeartMedia. Can't make it down? Text STUDENT to 345-345.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Welcome back into the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. Yes, tomorrow is the Tools for Schools school supply drive. Eblin Charities. We're collecting once again to make sure that all the kids around Western North Carolina have the tools that they need to be successful this upcoming school year. The school supply drive taking place tomorrow, 7 to 7 at the Ingles on Smoky Park Highway. Jeremy will be out there 9 to 11 tomorrow. I will be making an appearance at some point tomorrow, probably toward the back end of Jeremy's 9 to 11 window there. So come on down, join us, support a great charity and Eblin Charities, and support the kids of our local area. Of course, we're always teaming up with our good friends at Ingles Supermarket.
And I will be there happily saying hello and nice things to all the people, and then I'm probably going to find a golf course somewhere to have a little personal reflection.
Yes, programming note, we will not have a show tomorrow afternoon due to Atlanta Braves baseball. Back with you on Thursday on the Braves off day. We appreciate them taking a day off so we can actually work. The San Francisco 49ers are next up in the Sportsocracy off-season files. San Francisco, they're at the top of the NFC.
Are they?
Yes, they are, and it's not even debatable. It's Philadelphia, a step down, and then the San Francisco 49ers at 2.
Okay, I would say it's Philadelphia, a step down, Dallas,
okay,
a big step down, Seattle,
oh my
and San
gosh.
Francisco.
Stop that.
I would take Seattle to win this division right now, and I wouldn't think twice about it. I would not think twice about it.
That's craziness to me. This team is the best team in the NFC other than the quarterback position. And I get it's the most important position in the league, but still, they were on their 4th quarterback last year and almost made it to a Super Bowl.
But they didn't.
No,
in the
of course
horrifically
not.
bad
How could
NFC.
you be expected to? How can you be expected to make it to a Super Bowl on your 4th quarterback of the season?
Well, now that 4th quarterback's your starter.
Mm-hmm. And he earned the job.
I don't buy him at all.
Okay.
I genuinely think this is the greatest piece of sleight of hand magic I have ever seen in my life. The kid with that roster can beat mediocre teams. I have just annihilated the film of him from last year. I haven't changed one thing that I thought about him from when he came out of college. And I'm telling you now, I've harped on this to such a point that I'm tired of saying it. Sam Darnold's going to start games for this team. But even taking that away, you know what scares me way more than Brock Purdy?
What's that?
Their offensive line's not very good. Take
Outside
away
of
Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Name me another starter.
I mean, I'm looking at it, so I could tell you all of them.
Well, I'm glad you didn't
off
cheat
the top
there,
of my head.
because I'm not going to lie to you. If you looked at me and said Jake Brendel, I'd have gone, cheater!
Spencer Burford.
Cheater again!
Nick Zakelj.
He's a backup, so it really concerns me. San Francisco has lost a lot over the years, and they've done a great job of replacing it. The line scares me. And the line scares me for one very simple reason. You got a quarterback that's teeny tiny. All right, Brock Purdy is not a big kid. I'm not saying he's Bryce Young small. I mean, he's
6'1",
thick-ish.
6'1", 220.
Yeah, and if he's 220, I'm 310. And I got news for you. I'm not. So that makes me nervous. If you had a vet quarterback back there that I really believed in.
Like Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah.
Really?
I think Jimmy Garoppolo is light years better than Brock Purdy. And if you had seen him for more than 6 games last year, I think you would have seen it. Oh, but he went 13-4. 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Okay. Would you like a refresher course on who that was against? Because I'll happily tell you. The Carolina Panthers, the Chiefs, who demolished him. Miami, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Washington, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. How many of those teams were good?
2. I mean, you had Miami that was on the periphery, but their defense wasn't great.
Well, Kansas City, he came in after things had gotten really sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Miami.
Seattle.
Yeah. He threw 26 passes in that entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't believe, as I've gone down through this, and I've stared at the screen I'm staring at right now probably 100 times. I struggle to believe a team that, yes, I think they have a lot of talent on the defense. I think you have a lot of holes on that defense that nobody wants to talk about.
Okay.
I struggle to believe that a quarterback that threw more than 30 passes exactly 2 times is going to win in this league. I just don't believe it. Now, I said the same thing about Geno Smith. Seattle has made me a believer.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll is a warlock, and I'm not sure I couldn't start at quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks and win 6 games.
Well, see, that's how I feel about the San Francisco 49ers. You could start for this team. And I go, yeah, they got a shot to win the Super Bowl.
And I don't agree with you. Just look
it's over and over
look
and
at
over
where
again.
you have taken the step back across this team.
Mm-hmm.
Is the quarterback position better or worse right now than it was 2 years ago?
I'd say it's
worse.
It's worse, I guess.
It's worse. Is the offensive line better or worse?
They're worse.
Is the defensive line better or worse? You're starting Drake Jackson, who I love more than anybody who doesn't share a last name with him.
I'm also starting Javon
And even-
Hargrave, though.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there.
And Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa. I feel like that's a pretty damn good defensive line.
And look at how this rotation has run. Look at what Robert Saleh does with the Jets, what D'Amico Ryans will do with the Texans. You cannot tell me that 5, 6, 7, 8 are as good as they were years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not. There is a reason so many of these guys have gotten not necessarily big money deals, but deals leaving this place because there's a lot of talent there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to the secondary. Is the secondary as good or worse than it was a year ago? I think it's worse.
I think they're a smidge worse, but I don't think it's
Now you've got a new defensive coordinator who I do not understand how he is supposed to implement this system because it is not what he does. And all of these pieces, I just feel like San Francisco for the last handful of years was a 10-piece puzzle. Any idiot can put this together because 6 of them have sides. Fix those together, just put the other 4 together. It's really not that hard. This is more like a 500-piece puzzle. And it's a lot more difficult I'm not telling you they're going to go 5-12.
Right.
I just don't think they're the class of the NFC. We talked a lot about Cleveland's the team I'm the most overweight on their win future.
Mm-hmm.
I have a significant amount on under San Francisco.
Interesting.
They're
and it all
not.
comes back to the quarterback position.
It comes back to everything I just said.
Yeah.
You've got an inexperienced, small quarterback behind a line that I don't have but one thing that I definitively know what it is. And so you're telling me you're going to win by grinding it out defensively and running the ball. Yeah, it doesn't tend to win in this league.
And just
ask Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore's much more equipped to do that. What'd they do? Oh, we need a coordinator that'll throw the damn ball. And you're doing that with Lamar Jackson. You're telling me you actually honestly think that you're going to be able to do a better job of that with Brock Purdy. Yep, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Doesn't even make a lick of sense to me.
All right, fair enough. San Francisco 49ers, Jeremy's heavy on the under. I'm not touching any of those bets because I think this will be no doubt a double-digit win team. They will win their division. Not saying it won't be close with Seattle, but I think they're the better team, and they are not as far away from the Philadelphia Eagles as you think, Jeremy.
All right, let me ask this question. San Francisco won the division in a walk last year.
Yes.
Seattle better or worse than they were?
Yeah.
If there was
better.
Yeah, there doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Seattle is significantly better.
Okay.
If for nothing else, because of how young you are. Do you realize how many young guys started on that team? Oh, and I just added Bobby Wagner to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's significantly better. Francisco is significantly worse. San Francisco plays a much more difficult schedule. At the very least, it'll be close, and I think Seattle actually ends up winning the division. I had somebody at the Village Sports last night ask me that question, and I kind of just chuckled and went, give me a day, and I'll answer that question out loud for you.
He's got a lot of faith in Seattle. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, we'll get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Humidity makes a comeback later this week. We have been enjoying some comfortable low humidity here into early August, but humidity steps up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so do the rain chances. I think we'll see some thunderstorms later this week. Heaviest rainfall looks to be Thursday across Asheville. Mid-60s in the valley tonight. Chance for an afternoon shower tomorrow, high 80 degrees. Heavier rains Thursday, 73. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, very busy between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Future 26 eastbound, light delays between Riverside Drive and 240. Beginning in Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound, approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Again, Hendersonville Road northbound, slow near Long Shoals Road. I'm Lyman Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Every day you breathe in thousands of tiny little germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Dan, a verified Navage user who writes, I've had trouble with my sinuses for decades. I always thought something like this was a gimmick, but one use and I'm hooked. I should have bought this a long time ago. The results are immediate and incredible." Unquote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It's bow time. The Bojangles made from scratch biscuit is so good, we gave it a sidekick. That's just as never frozen, just as fluffy, just as delicious. We call them the Buttermilk Beauties. Get 2 sausage and egg biscuits for just $5. It's bow time.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Let's go down to Florida. Why not? As, this is this was probably the scariest video that I have seen in the last couple of days. So this happened at Lake Apopka, Florida, 15 miles northwest of Orlando in Orange County, where they were hanging out at the lake, this group, It was a woman's birthday, and she was all excited about spending her birthday at the lake until she saw something that she just couldn't help but capture on her cell phone. It was something kind of disturbing and a little macabre, but you'd never seen it before. It was an alligator just kind of floating there on the shore of the lake, dead, rotting, scales kind of falling off of it. She thought it was interesting. She pulls out the phone and starts filming it. Hey, look at this dead alligator. And then all of a sudden, the dead alligator starts moving, and hilarity ensued from there. It happened that there was actually a larger alligator than the 8-footer that was that was viewable. There was a larger alligator underneath the water that was starting to pull this one in and eat it. They went running. They fell all over each other. It's the most hilarious Florida thing that I have seen. Quite a few, as the story says here, excitable 4-letter words being uttered. I think that would be the most terrifying thing for me, is to be so enthralled with the dead animal and then realize, oh, wait, there is a larger live animal that could swallow me whole if it chose not to snack on this dead thing. I'd be terrified. Playing golf, have you ever, I mean, have you run across alligators while you're out playing golf?
Alligators never bothered me. I've seen them. So alligators that live on golf courses become pretty used to people. So, I mean, am I telling you that they wouldn't come out and clamp down on you? No. But there is an animal that you'll find on a golf course that I've had 2 really bad interactions with. A goose.
A goose.
Gooses do not become used to people, and they don't like you. I almost got run up a tree one time by a flock of gooses, and I ain't liked them not nary a time since.
Is that where the whole birds aren't real thing started?
It didn't help anything.
Was that the birth of so the gooses are the mother drones?
I actually thought I was going to have to hit a goose in the head with a 5-iron one time. That's how bad it got. Because that goose did not love that my big old self was in its home. Here's the thing, goose. You're living in water on a golf course. This is the most popular place on the entire course. Go away, goose. You said alligators and crocodiles scare you to death. You know what scares me? The government. And New York City, you know what? You leave it up to your politicians. They can figure it out. New York City's biggest problem right now, I mean, surely to God, rising crime, high rent prices, subways that you have to be armed with a machete to climb upon.
Right.
But no, New York Mayor Eric Adams has got a solution for the biggest problem we have. No more ketchup in your to-go containers. Let's go.
What?
Apparently, in what can only be described by me as the most mind-numbingly stupid thing I've ever read in my life, starting yesterday, in New York City, you now must specifically request ketchup, utensils, mayonnaise, and mustard. And if a restaurant is found to be giving them in to-go orders just all willy-nilly, or they are considered to be giving away too many of them, they can be fined by New York City government. Let me say that again. I don't think you're grasping the stupid of what I'm saying here. In a city that has basically become Gotham and ain't got not one Batman in the whole town, you're worried about catsup. Yep, that defines Jeremy's fear of the government in one story.
Shocks me none.
You know,
I mean, remember when Bloomberg was the mayor up there, and they turned it into, and he had his crackdown on trans fats and large sodas and all that. Like
Seinfeld did an episode about that. Who was the one? Who was the one they did the Froyo episode about in Seinfeld, where he was getting frozen yogurt, but it wasn't actually non-fat? We're doing the same thing. Absolutely. 28 years later. Okay, just can we please in New York City, I'm looking directly at you. Could we please possibly stop electing the stupidest person that we could possibly elect for every political office? Because, see, this is like a rock rolling downhill. It gets faster and faster and faster. And by the time it actually hits something, it's going to hurt. You can't walk on a New York City street right now, and your mayor is worried about rats and ketchup. You elected that. You did. Not me. You.
This is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Who is Scoop City? I've never heard of Scoop City before.
No, you're let me guess, you're referencing the Big Ten.
Of course I am. The rumor came out the other day that the Big Ten's going to expand at some point this week, and the usual suspects are being mentioned from the ACC. Florida State and Clemson want to jump to the Big Ten along with Washington and Oregon, and it's going to happen at some point this week.
I can neither confirm nor deny Oregon or Washington. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen. I can, for now the fourth time, tell you that Clemson and Florida State will not be part of this. And I don't know why this is so hard for certain people to understand. You've got a grant of rights with the ACC. You basically, if you break this deal that you're in currently, I'm not telling you they don't want to. I can tell you definitively, one of them has sought every possible exit to the ACC that they possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't telling you anything you didn't already know.
We know who it is.
You ain't getting out of it. You would drown in legal fees.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely would drown in legal fees. And now here's the bigger question. Why would I want to? All right, I want to go to the Big Ten.
More yearly money.
And I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of these schools struggle with that. The much more likely, and, you know, I'm a fan of conspiracy theories. Something we talk about on this show all the time is Jeremy's a big fan of a conspiracy theory. And maybe I have one. Maybe I have one after I've put out a feeler or two. Why do you think Clemson and Florida State got attached to this? What if
they're always attached to
Well, that's because people are stupid and they go, well, the ACC is an inferior conference. No, it's not. It makes a lot of money in a lot of sports that a lot of other conferences don't.
Mm-hmm.
What are Florida State and Clemson really upset about? Their cut of the pie in football.
Mm-hmm.
Because they make the vast majority of it. So if Florida State or Clemson was going to put this out there, I don't think they did because somebody bigger than Scoop City would have gotten it. Or somebody from Barstool, of which I love Barstool, but okay. So you're telling me that Pat Forty and Paul Feinbaum, all those guys, none of them got it. Scoop City did. Mm-hmm.
Which I still don't know who that is.
I don't either, and I don't care.
Well, I mean, this just strikes me as the whole Mark Ryan thing all over again.
Oh, you said that name, not me.
What? Was that supposed to be? I mean, we lambasted him when he did it 3 years ago.
Yeah, because it didn't make any sense. Still doesn't make any sense.
He's on the ESPN station in upstate South Carolina, and he just apparently out of nowhere just made up the rumor that Florida State was going to be leaving.
I would say somebody probably told him that. The only problem is that you're believing the wrong people. If you don't hear this come from the board of directors at Florida State, board of regents, it ain't happening. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Because the legal fees would drown you. Why do you think they haven't jumped yet?
Because they can't. They can't find a way to financially make it worth their while.
It's not because no conference is looking around going, man, wouldn't it be nice to have Florida State? Because it would be.
Every conference still in it would jump at the chance.
The SEC,
were they a free agent?
And this is the other part of this. The SEC can't have them because Florida has to approve it, and they have no interest in doing so.
Right.
The same thing happens with South Carolina with Clemson. So the Big Ten is actually the only jumping ground that Clemson or Florida State have. Now, it blows my mind that I still have to explain this to people because this is now the fourth time we've done this in the 3.5 years we've had a daily show like this. If you're the Big Ten, do you really think that you're going to give them some sweetheart deal now that you've added USC, you've added UCLA? I think there's a great chance you're going to add Oregon and Washington, and that may happen this week. I don't know. I don't know anybody there. How many cuts of this pie do you think Ohio State and Michigan are really okay with giving up? I mean, that's really where this begins and ends. Do you think Ohio State and Michigan are looking at this going, yeah, we don't recruit enough in Florida? Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's go add that. No, you added California because you don't really have any competition out there. The SEC is going to drag you down the sidewalk in Florida. They know that. They went to the place that nobody else was. And they got the only two programs they really wanted. They're resisting Oregon and Washington and have been for a long time because those two have made it very well known. All you got to do is ask, and we'll be on a plane before the sun goes down. Still hadn't done it. There's only so much pie to go around. And this super conference thing, you've always been locked in on that.
Yep.
That's how this is going to end. It's never made a whole lot of sense to me. I get what would be in it for, say, Washington. I get. At this point, you are borderline a prostitute. Whoever hands you the most money is who you are going to go riding with.
Okay.
Florida State's not in that boat.
Is that an auction job? I didn't know that. I mean, you obviously have more experience here than I do, but
listen here, Chuckles. Because I've been playing golf for 4 days doesn't mean I won't still smack you. Because I totally will.
No, I completely get what you're saying.
Well, the pie as it exists, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The Big Ten did all of these deals, and Ohio State agreed to it, and Michigan agreed to it, and even Penn State, Wisconsin, they all agreed to these things. Under the context of this is what I'm going to get. Could you chase a Florida State and a Clemson? You could. Not while Rutgers is still around. Not while Maryland's still around. Because there is no way that Ohio State's going to be okay losing money and still giving it to Rutgers.
Right.
Because they look at Florida State and Clemson and go, you're not on par with us. They're wrong, but that's how it's viewed. So at some point, you're going to go, no. The Pac-12 teams, that boat's sinking. It doesn't really matter what you could offer them $10 and a bag of Cheetos, and they'd go in. It'd be like Saquon Barkley. 7 packs of peanut M&Ms. Let's ride. Big Ten.
Right.
The ACC's not in the same boat.
I just think. It's
the
hilarious.
deal's not good.
I just think it's hilarious that everybody wants this to happen so much that they'll glom on to whatever comes around. I mean, you remember one of the other times that we thought we had breaking news and teams leaving a conference. I think it was also with the ACC, and some volleyball podcast put it out. And it all ended up being completely false. Right? So now we have Scoop City, again, whoever the hell that is, says this, and everybody jumps onto it. I don't know why you want this to happen so badly.
You don't. You don't. Jonathan Welch in our YouTube comments, and I know this is a joke, which is why I'm gonna respond to it with a joke. Said Florida State and Clemson should just do the right thing and save the Pac-12. Listen, Bernie Sanders, there is absolutely nothing about the Pac-12 that is alluring to anybody at this point, including San Diego State. There is no interest from Florida State and Clemson. The more likely they renegotiate with the ACC, because the ACC knows you two leave, we're in trouble.
Screwed, yeah.
So what makes more sense? You dance with the girl that brought you. You just might have to sweeten the pot a little bit for Clemson and Florida State.
This is the Sportsocracy, and you're listening on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, busy. 26 westbound, light delays beginning at Hendersonville Road, then getting busier as you approach Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Boulevard Road northbound slows between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Howard Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
DQ presents How to Fancy Up Any Occasion. Step 1, grab the Caramel Fudge Cheesecake Blizzard from DQ. Step 2, break out your fanciest sweatpants and park yourself in your comfiest chair. Step 3, kick back and bask in the luxury of salted caramel, rich fudge, and decadent cheesecake pieces blended in world-famous DQ soft serve. Fancy? Achieved. No formal wear required. DQ. Happy tastes good.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Join iHeartMedia for the 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities. We'll be at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway this Wednesday from 7 a to 7 p collecting school supplies and monetary donations to help students and teachers right here in Western North Carolina. Let's make sure every student and teacher has the supplies they need to succeed in the 23-24 school year. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a $2,600 gift card to Ingalls. The 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities and iHeartMedia. Can't make it down? Text STUDENT to 345-345.
Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Humidity makes a comeback later this week. We have been enjoying some comfortable low humidity here into early August, but humidity steps up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so do the rain chances. I think we'll see some thunderstorms later this week. Heaviest rainfall looks to be Thursday across Asheville. Mid-60s in the valley tonight. Chance for an afternoon shower tomorrow, high 80 degrees. Heavier rains Thursday, 73. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Irish Spring, the fresh scent of Irish Spring. And those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green. Tank Spencer.
He invoked
There's
his
no holding
10-team
back in the
no-trade clause that
Sportsocracy.
included LA,
Presented by
and the
Ingalls
deal is now
Supermarket.
dead. Hassan also reports the Astros have a deal in place to acquire ace Justin Verlander from the underachieving Mets. Houston sending its top 2 outfield prospects to New York. It is the perfect move for the defending World Series champs, says ESPN's Eduardo Perez.
The Astros, I think, killed it on this one. And one of the biggest reasons they did is because he's had success there in Houston already. He knows exactly what to expect from that city, from that team, from his teammates. He won the Cy Young Award as a Houston Astro.
Yeah.
And this guy and Jim Crane, they get it. They get what winning is all about in Houston.
They get each other, that's for sure.
They get each other, and I think that's one of the most important things. They're reunited.
Houston's just a half game back of AL West leading Texas, holds the second AL wildcard spot. Blue Jays acquired infielder Paul DeYoung from the Cardinals, move made with Bo Bichette day to day due to right knee soreness.
If you need last-minute hires in no time, you need Indeed. Their integrated hiring solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green. Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, of course, we're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. You have to be subscribed to the channel to join the chat each and every day. But that part of it, your interaction with us, is absolutely free. All it costs you is one little click.
Tank had the most brilliant idea in the break I think he's ever had, that we should do a YouTube exclusive series.
Yes.
Of me teaching him how to play golf.
Jeremy teaches Tank how to play golf.
Well, and then you add Newsno Mark Starling, who is your new compadre on the morning show.
Yes.
Let me tell a quick little story, because I have a feeling he probably didn't tell this on his show. He played with us Friday in the Warhorse. Well, as I told you, the Warhorse was a little more boozy of an experience. To my knowledge, Mark doesn't drink very much. They had Jello shots. Yeah. You see how Tank's laughing? He doesn't know what I'm getting ready to say.
No.
All I had to say was Mark and Jello shots, and he started laughing immediately. I don't know how many times it happened, but it was enough. Best shot of the day. Mark lines up with the driver. He could have caught it if he had thought about it quick enough, because he hits the ball, it goes straight up in the air, and his club comes flying out of his hand and sheaths itself in a rose bush.
Nice.
Like a samurai sword. I don't know that I've ever laughed that hard in my entire life, and my life flashed before my eyes because I was standing beside the rose bush.
So you may have pedaled a little.
It was without a doubt his best shot of the day. I'm not sure anybody could do it if you
So
paid
it wasn't
him
the
to
ball. The ball wasn't the best shot of the day. It was the fact that the club ended up in the rose bush.
Oh yeah, the ball wouldn't have hit you from where I'm sitting.
It just straight up.
It just went boop. I think it bounced off the ground and went straight up in the air.
Right. I don't know.
That's always fun when you're the driver. You see somebody do that, and you're like, okay, all right. So it's on me. Here we go.
After the coronavirus shutdown, and then golf was the first thing to come back, that was when I started watching golf, because I hated it up until that point. And over the last 3 years, I've gotten more and more interested in golf and just realizing that I don't know how to play the game. I've never picked, I've been to a driving range once.
Well, here's what Jeremy's hearing. I'm hearing really good excuse for you to buy my clubs on the cheap, and it would give me a reason to buy a new set that Amy wouldn't get angry about. So,
but that's the thing. I don't know if I want to do it as a hobby. I don't know if I want to buy some clubs and go out there and play, because I have been told since I've started doing this job with you is that, well, your basically worst nightmare is teaching someone else how to play.
No, if I go into it with that, no, here's what worries me is that we get a group together and the cooler's packed and everybody gets, partnered off, and then unbeknownst to me, I have to go Professor Green and explain to you how to play the game. That is, I've had nightmares that were far less traumatizing than that.
But I've also, for the last, I would say 6 to 8 months, I've watched every Manolo Teaches Golf video that's on the internet. If you guys have never seen Manolo Teaches Golf, he's one of my favorite accounts to follow. I'm thinking I might have picked up some tips here. I may not be as bad as a first-time golfer would be. Maybe.
If you kept legitimate score your first time on a golf course, you would shoot a 200.
I'm all about it.
I think it would be hilarious.
So we may have to put that together. The YouTube series, Jeremy Teaches Tank Golf.
Oh, and I can tell you what I can already tell you what it should be called. Tanks Shanks.
Ah! See,
boom.
Look at that. It's not alliteration, but it rhymes, and I like that almost as much as I like alliteration. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Top of the third hour of the program. It's time for the daily draft, today's daily draft. We're going to do coaches. Drafting coaches in the NFL. If you were starting a team today, what coaches would you choose? Of course, all of this stemming from the Sean Payton kerfuffle. Sean Payton throwing Nathaniel Hackett under the bus for last year's disappointing season with the Denver Broncos. Then you got Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard coming back at Sean Payton, basically saying, keep my coaches' names out of your mouth.
He went full Will Smith, which has now got me locked into week 5. He just runs up to the sideline, and I'm 100% here for it.
And I believe we have been asked on several occasions in the last couple of weeks in the YouTube chat to rank the coaches in the NFL, which once we get closer to the season, we typically always do that. We have the one day where we sit down and we do the future of the franchise ranking with the coach and the front office and the draft pick capital and all that kind of stuff. But we thought today would be a good day to draft our coaches in the daily draft. First pick overall. Is it me or is it you? I can never remember.
This one is you.
This one is me. Okay, so...
I mean, at this point, we're taking so many days off that it is very difficult to...
100%.
At this point, we're basically working government hours.
Until...
next week.
Right.
End of
Until
message,
football
repeat the
season
line.
starts, and then it's, may catch the Braves game every now and then, but these golf outings and the things that we've taken days off for during the summer, those all end. Because once the football season kicks off, which is 2 days away for the Hall of Fame game, it is balls to the wall 6 days a week come first week of September, second week of September, whenever the NFL season starts. So you may be upset that we don't have as many shows as usual during the summer, but you make it all back with the 6 days a week during the football season. So anyhow, and the reason he brings that up is because we just found out during the break that we're also off on Friday of this week. So we were off yesterday, back today for a show, off tomorrow due to a Braves game. Then we're back on Thursday, and then Friday. Guess what? It's another Braves Day game. So
That might be a live stream from a golf course at Tank Shakes.
See, and that's what I was thinking. If we've all got the day off on Friday, we might as well make something out of this. Might be the perfect day for the first episode of Tank Shakes. So, anyhow, we'll work on that. But today's daily draft, my first pick, if I'm starting an NFL franchise, my first pick to be my head coach, he would have to tell me no, and I would offer him anything he wanted.
And now before, I want to clarify here, because we run into these kerfuffles quite a lot, where I've got one thing in my head and you got something else in your head.
Okay.
This is if I could pick a coach for 2023, just this 1 year, end of message, repeat the line. Not the past.
Not looking to the future.
Not the future.
Yeah, looking to best
Right
result right now. You have a team that's ready to contend. Who are you going after? And it's Andy Reid is the number one answer. You know, if you're starting a franchise, you may not want to start a franchise with Andy Reid as your head coach because you don't know really how many years he's got left. But even looking at it in that light, I would still take Andy Reid one and deal with whatever came my way. Guaranteed another 5 years of him coaching, and then he gets to Pesser. Because that's how it's going to work in Kansas City.
No doubt. I mean, and to me, that was the right call. I don't really know that you could do anything else.
No.
Not and make it legitimately make sense.
Mm-hmm. So now you get back-to-back picks to shift it in your favor.
And I feel like you did what you had to do, and now it becomes much more open-ended for me. I feel like the first one is really, really easy.
Okay.
It's Mike Tomlin. Because I didn't say that the team I had was good, and I didn't say the team I had was we didn't preface it with anything there. I know with Mike Tomlin, I have a very safe floor. Now, has he done a great job of reaching the mountaintop? Not necessarily. But I think he is, as we said, I think he is the second best coach in the NFL.
Okay.
It's the next one that's really hard for me because there's two I want. There's a shot you don't take one of them. So I will go Sean McVay. I know last year was awful. That roster was awful by the end of the year. He's still a phenomenal coach.
That one would not have come back.
There's no doubt.
Because he would have been my two. If I'm looking for a coach to win this year, I'm going Sean McVay.
If I'm being really honest with you, I had 3 twos. I knew definitively you were going to take Andy Reid. I also thought there was a possibility you were going to tell me that I had the first pick. That worked out nicely. Say things with conviction. People won't question whether you actually know what you're talking about or not.
No, absolutely not.
I had 3 twos. Tomlin, McVay, and one more that I'm really hoping you don't take, and there's a possibility you don't.
Is it John Harbaugh?
It was.
Yep.
It was John Harbaugh.
Because Harbaugh was my 3. Not that I don't like Mike Tomlin. Not that I don't trust Mike Tomlin to win games.
You have Harbaugh definitively over Mike Tomlin?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to need you to explain that.
I feel like he's a better coach. Look, here's the thing. I don't know that I've seen steady success from Mike Tomlin. He's always got his team in a winning record, regardless of what the roster looks like, regardless of what injuries have come that way. But I don't feel like he's ever had to change to be better. Do you agree with that? He's never had to change his philosophy and how he does things to win games. It's always just been, this is the Steeler way, we're going to do it this way. And we've had success with that, right?
But does it not tell you everything you need to know?
Maybe.
Because he's won that way with very different rosters.
Yeah, but he hasn't won as much as John Harbaugh has, and I feel like he's remade that team twice into a contender. When he had Joe Flacco, that was a pretty people, want to diss Joe Flacco, but He was pretty elite
phenomenal
that year.
in that 1 year.
Yes, they went on to win the championship with
By
a
the way,
strong
John
arm
Harbaugh
quarterback.
has not won more than Mike Tomlin. I thought that was weird when you said it. He has not.
He's got more Super Bowls, right? Didn't he have 2 of them? No, just
Harbaugh
the one.
has 1.
Just the one.
They both have 1.
I'm lumping him in with
Brian
Billick.
Billick.
Yeah. But anyway,
I mean, if you go back to like 2000, you lump Brian Billick
look,
and John Harbaugh into
if
one
he'd
person.
if he'd have paid off on my prediction last year, they would have 2 Super Bowls by this point. But no, I mean, he has transformed that team and built it around Lamar Jackson, and still wins at a pretty high level. And if they could stay healthy, they got a shot to do something special.
Can I make a sweeping declaration that I know unequivocally will make every Steeler fan and every Raven fan very angry?
Okay.
If John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin traded places, what would change?
I don't know. What would change?
If somehow Tomlin became the coach of the Ravens and Harbaugh went to Pittsburgh, how different are those 2 teams?
I don't know that they're all that
not
different.
I think they're the exact same. I think they're the same guy.
Oh,
I think that's why it's such an unbelievable. They've added such a look. Raven Steelers was always great. I feel like we have some revisionist history that this was the greatest rivalry in the NFL. No, these 2 have done a lot for that because I think they're the same guy. You want me to tell you what the difference was between Harbaugh and Tomlin and who I had to draft? Because I had to pick one of them.
Yeah.
Because McVay was really my 2. He was the different one of the 2. I took him second, but he was the different one of the 2. The difference for me, Ozzie Newsome and Eric DaCosta draft for Harbaugh. Tomlin it's never been bad. He's never had that. And that's not a slight at anybody. I think they are equivalent coaches.
Okay.
I had to separate them somehow because I couldn't have all 3 of them. But I do definitively think 4 picks in, we have the 4 best coaches in the league.
As do I.
Because I think there is a huge drop-off here.
Huge drop-off.
Because I'm not even 100% sure I know what you're getting ready to say.
Well, I'm torn. So I'm going to take the break to think about it. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Best coaches in the league. Who would you take if you could have any coach to win this year? We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road, traffic is slow. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, slow. Again, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Clayton Road, continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Delays north and southbound near the North Carolina Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, get ready for a $7 meal deal that adds a little something sweet. Order a $7 meal deal and choose between an original cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips, plus full-size regular fries, drink, and your choice of sundae. Only at participating locations. Happy tastes good.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If you're suffering and there's a safe, natural, easy-to-use solution to help make you feel better, wouldn't you at least want to try it? That's why millions of people use Navage Nasal Care to help relieve their symptoms of sinus congestion, allergies, snoring, and other nasal-related problems. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Dee, a verified Navage user who writes, "From years of having a permanently stuffed up nose to being able to breathe is life-changing. Food tastes better, and I no longer go through boxes of tissue a day," unquote. Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Join iHeartMedia for the 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities. We'll be at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway this Wednesday from 7 a to 7 p, collecting school supplies and monetary donations to help students and teachers right here in Western North Carolina. Let's make sure every student and teacher has the supplies they need to succeed in the 23-24 school year. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a $2,600 gift card to Ingalls. The 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities and iHeartMedia. Can't make it down? Text STUDENT to 345-345.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
And it's just 2 days away. Thursday night, the Hall of Fame game in Canton, the Cleveland Browns and Jeremy's New York Jets. Jets.
I can't wait. We're there. We're there.
We are there indeed. And we're in the middle of the daily draft today.
Something we do need to touch on.
Okay.
Once this week of smattering of appearances happens, our schedule is going to change content-wise, because now the old Tankerus here is in the building with me, which means we can put out more, I don't know, what is that word? Fantasy football things.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All the bonus content coming your way.
Yeah, if you're one of those people that really wanted us to do a morning show, have a funny feeling you might get your wish.
All right, let's continue here on the daily draft. Coaches for 2023. You got your choice. Who are you taking to lead your team for this year? I took Andy Reid at 1. There was no other real choice. It did kind of surprise me that you went Mike Tomlin 2, Jeremy, but I get it.
I should have gone McVay too. I was trying to separate Harbaugh and Tomlin. In my mind, I took McVay too because he was the one I knew I was taking. Mm-hmm. I had to get a name out of my mouth because I couldn't separate the two.
Sean McVay was your second choice. Then I came back with John Harbaugh. So we got the top 4. We both feel like those are the top 4 coaches in the NFL currently. And then I've got a couple other names on my list, but I can't stay away from Kyle Shanahan. I really can't. I believe that he is an excellent coach in this league. I get he's had 3 really bad seasons. His teams have been ravaged by injuries, and last year was no different. And the fact that he still had his team vying for a Super Bowl on his 4th quarterback of the year tells me he's a pretty darn good coach, and he can make his system run without having a magnificent play caller. All I need is a manager, and he's found it with Brock Purdy. And I feel like I said it earlier in the show. I feel like they are far and away the number 2 best team in the NFC behind the Philadelphia Eagles, and Kyle Shanahan's a major reason for that.
Sometimes, folks, you got to do a little sleight of hand magic, and you got to go, ooh, look at the pretty birdie. Look at the pretty birdie. Because for me, I said that there were 4 and a drop off a cliff. I forgot one name who I will very happily make my 5th pick, and his name is one Peter Nathaniel Carroll the 14th. Pete Carroll proved last year just how good of a coach he actually is. Mm-hmm. Not that we should have questioned it in the first place. Tank told me in the break, I got 3 names, and I went, the one I won't take is Pete Carroll. And in the back of my head, I'm going, that's the only one I want.
That's the only one I want.
I swear I will rage quit if you take Pete Carroll. I will flip the board like we're playing Monopoly. The question for me was who the other one would be. That's where Kyle Shanahan would have come in for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple others, but there's one that's got a Super Bowl. And I know somebody's got to be thinking, well, what about Bill Belichick? Do I get Tom Brady? Because if I don't, I'm good. It's Doug Peterson. He's got a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He has shown that he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what separated me. For me, that's what would have separated him from Kyle Shanahan and another name that I think is a really good coach, but he's never won a big one like that.
Mm-hmm. Doug Peterson has won the big one, and I can't really disagree with you on that.
And I'm not sure he's not going to win one at Jacksonville. That roster is, I'm telling you.
I mean, they're good. They're good.
If I can give you one piece of fantasy advice, if you've got a draft this week before all the things come out next week, Calvin Ridley. Just do it. You'll thank me later.
Dog.
I saw a video of him, and I don't put a lot into camps and OTAs, where it looked like everybody on that field was in slow motion.
Now it's my turn, and now I have to do it. I know you're not going to, but I have to, because you can't have a list of coaches that you would take and not have Bill Belichick on the list.
He was on my list.
Bill,
I was very resigned he was going to end up having to be on my list because I thought you were going to push him down to me.
Even if you are tried and true on the on the side of facts that this is a 500 coach without Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback or the all-time winningest quarterback of all time, however you want to phrase it. You want to rely on those facts. I get it. But also, do you think the New England Patriots would be even as good as they have been, even 500 over the last 2 seasons, without Bill Belichick? I don't think so.
Over the last 2 years, maybe not. I feel like with any other this is what pushed him off for me. I feel like with any other coach in the NFL, they'd be in better shape right now if somebody else had been the coach the last 2 years. Because I don't think anybody in this league would have looked at Mac Jones and the combination of players they have put on that roster and said, I can win with that.
Mm-hmm.
Bill is stubborn. Bill's a proven winner. I get it. You got 6 Super Bowl rings.
Yep.
Yeah, you know who else I saw do this exact same thing? Don Shula. Don Shula, I win my way. Cool. League move past you.
Mm-hmm.
You had Dan Marino, who was arguably the greatest arm talent we've ever seen. You didn't put the pieces around him. And I'm just telling you, I can do that with Tom Landry. I can do it with Chuck Noll. When you are a next-level genius, the way that all of those guys are, you are set in how you win, and you can look at it and go, see, I won all of these ways, so you don't evolve.
Mm-hmm.
I argued this in the offseason. I'm not sure the greatest thing that ever happened to Sean McVay wasn't getting absolutely teetotally kicked in the teeth over the last 12 months. Because I'm not sure at his age that didn't make him go, oh, well, I'm very good at this, but I'm not infallible. Bill didn't have that for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
He had it early in life, and now you're just watching. I mean, I don't care what your allegiances are. You cannot tell me that anything I'm saying here is incorrect. He is trying to do the same thing that won for him in 2002 in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't work. That's why he was a better coach than Andy Reid for all those years. Do you think Kansas City looks like Philadelphia used to? No, because Andy Reid evolved. That's what Bill never could do. That's the reason I would have taken him in my next set.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even consider him in the top 8 here.
Yep.
Because there's another name I really hope you don't say.
My last one is, well, he's off the Bill Belichick tree, and it's Mike Vrabel.
I hate you.
I know you do. I know you, and I love how you have come complete 180 on Mike Vrabel. Because you used to make fun of him relentlessly. I mean, that's why we call him Mike Vrabel. Because you refused
Well, no,
to
I
say
call
his
him
name
Mike
right
Vrabel
when you
because-
disrespected him.
No, I refuse to call him Mike. That's how it's spelled. Vrabel. I just put it up on the screen. That's how it's spelled. You want me to say it another way?
It's a hard
another
A.
way.
Hard A. Mike Vrabel, I think he's a great coach.
I do too.
He's a hell of a motivator. He sticks to what he knows. He's got his set plan, and that's how this is going to work. And you're going to play for me. You're going to play hard. You're going to be all in. You want to start some nonsense in my training camp, then to the sand pit with you, sir. He's, to me, the ultimate player's coach.
I tend to agree with that. Anybody that thinks that I refuse to admit when I'm wrong, go back and listen to what I said about Mike Vrabel about 4 years ago. Yeah. New information comes along, yeah, I'll change my opinion. And Mike Vrabel changed my opinion. You want me? And would you like me to tell you why? I'm going to go back to what I just said about Bill. He never evolved. You know who did? Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Because even now with a roster that is not built really to win in this league right now, I'm not going to be shocked if he wins 7 or 8 or 9 games. And if he makes playoffs, he's the best coach in the history of team sports.
Right.
With how difficult the AFC is. Arthur Smith was not a Bill Belichick disciple kind of hire. And everything he has done, so even Todd Downing, that wasn't going well. Do something else. That's what kills the Josh McDaniels. That's what killed Eric Mangini. It's what killed a lot of guys that fell off that Bill tree. Mike was the one that proved I will evolve. I understand it's a passing league. Now, he hasn't gotten the quarterback right. I'm not sure that he didn't with Will Levis. I think that may look really smart 2 or 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And that may be clipped and used against me for many years to come. But Mike Vrabel's a great coach. And now it gets fun.
Yeah.
There's only one name that belongs here.
Okay.
You think there's more?
I'm just curious where you're going.
Brian Daboll, not close.
All right.
You talk about fall off a cliff. From here, it falls off Mount Kilimanjaro.
Okay.
To a whole bunch of...
No Sean Payton.
Nope. I've already told you this. Sean Payton is Mike McCarthy. He's not nearly as fat, and he has a way better PR team. He's better looking.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between the two.
Yep.
No, and now that you have opened your mouth, I'm telling you, you will regret that.
No Matt LaFleur.
I didn't even consider LaFleur.
Really?
Nope.
Okay.
The
highest winning percentage of any of the guys we talked about so far.
Yeah, let's see what 2 years of Jordan Love does to that.
Oh, I agree.
Then we'll
I'm
talk.
with you. I'm just pointing it out. There may be a Green Bay Packers fan listening going, oh, but wait a minute, he's got a 700 winning percentage. Yeah.
Can I tell you, I realized this weekend, and I told it to Amy. We stopped at a bar over the course of the weekend. We have literally been like 2 ships passing in the night for 4 days. We stopped at a bar to just have a quick drink and say hello and hi. We're both alive. There was a Green Bay Packer fan sitting right beside me. I'm going to tell you something that would probably shock the Packer fans that listen to this show. They're some of the most pleasant people I've ever met in my life. I love running into Packer fans because invariably they're so much more realistic than they are portrayed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't catch the guy's name. If I did, I would say it. But
right.
He was. I know what we're a 7-10 football team. I don't know about LaFleur. We're going to learn a lot more this year than we learned in the first handful of years with Aaron Rodgers. And I went, that might be the most realistic thing I've heard a fan say in the last 10 years.
Right.
And it's about the 8th time I've heard a Packer fan say it.
Real quick, UDFA.
Nick Sirianni.
Okay. I'm going full Kooky Madookie.
Oh, if you say Todd Bowles, I'll never let you hear the end of it.
It's Dan Campbell. It's Dan Campbell. I get his winning percentage and great, but you have to love this guy. Or at least if you don't love this guy, I'm going to need you to explain it to me. Especially after he went on the Pardon My Take podcast and was talking about apparently when he got the job in 2021, he wanted to lobby the NFL to get a live mascot on the field.
Yes.
He legit wanted a lion on a chain.
Do you not
to
remember
be on
this?
the sidelines? I don't remember that.
We did this story.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he wanted
and now
an
I hate the
actual
NFL even
lion.
more than I did. Like, like you want no fun league. Thanks for that. I need the lion on a chain for NFL games.
Yeah, actually, I think you did that story.
I probably
forever
did
ago.
because I love Dan Campbell, and the legend just keeps on growing. Let them win the NFC North this year. Yeah, and I will never want another coach as long as I live.
Look, I don't begrudge you for that. You and I have a slightly different take on Dan Campbell. I think he does one thing very, very well. Our fourth yesterday in the Rocket Cup was Don Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Ben's father.
Not the guy from Miami Vice.
No. Although, it's funny you said that. I thought that like 6 times. He said his name, and the theme song got stuck in my head.
Of course.
And we got to talking about Aaron Glenn, and because we had never met before. And I said, the other coordinator with your son is one of the guys that made me fall in love with the Jets. And he was going down the different guys that Dan Campbell hires really, really well. And I'm not going to lie to you, that's probably 40% of being a head coach, is surrounding yourself with really smart people.
Yes.
So I can't fault you for that at all.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The most important message of the day is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Humidity makes a comeback later this week. We have been enjoying some comfortable low humidity here into early August, but humidity steps up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so do the rain chances. I think we'll see some thunderstorms later this week. It'll be Thursday across Asheville. Mid-60s in the valley tonight. Chance for an afternoon shower tomorrow, high 80 degrees. Heavier rains Thursday, 73. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road is slow. In the Avery Creek area, Boulevard Road north and southbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, traffic is stop and go. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Dog days of summer got your business needing help? Check out Indeed, an all-in-one hiring solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you do it yet? Have you opened the free iHeartRadio app and listened to this station to be entered to win $5,000? Each day you come back to listen on the iHeartRadio app is another entry for $5,000 in cash. It pays to listen on the free iHeartRadio app. Download it today.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
ESPN Asheville, time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
And here's the thing. When you're on a trip and you're representing a certain group, it'd be great to live by the philosophy of don't do crimes. 2 teenage boys from Oregon are in trouble because there was a string of thefts around Rockaway Beach up in New York. Well, the 2 thefts carried out by 16 and 17-year-old boys who were arrested late last month. They were in town on a church youth group trip. I'm just going to say, look, guys, you obviously need to study your catechism or whatever.
What was that word that you just said?
The catechism? So growing up
I don't think we can talk about catechisms on the radio. I think that's a no-no.
Growing up in the church, you had to learn the catechism. You had to learn all the prayers and all the Bible verses and all the things. It was like a big part of the youth group and becoming a member of the church. At least it was when I was in church.
Brother, I grew up Southern Baptist. I had to learn one thing: sit down and shut up. That was it.
You didn't do like youth programs where you learned scriptures and things like that?
No, you see, you always say that I had I had like a Guantanamo Bay childhood. No, I didn't like other kids' childhood. Like, hey, you annoy me and I don't want to hang out with you. So no, I don't know what a catechism is.
Really? Yeah. No,
frankly, I think it needs to be handled by a chiropractor. What it sounds like.
The thefts took place over a series of weeks because these kids were in a leadership workshop group that was in Rockaway from Oregon. Pretty sure your parents didn't sign up for that phone call. Did you imagine? Hey, so I'm in New York on this church trip. Well, me and John over here, we've been arrested and we've been charged with 7 convenience store robberies.
That's not good. You're not.
Just leave him there. Just leave him there.
You're not done that. My story comes from San Bernardino, California. Man's name is not released in this story, but his crimes started in April of 2023 and continued until July 21st. He's a Rialto man. Apparently, he's really annoying and doesn't like what public services does. So he spam called them. 911, all of the different public service systems.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you think you could call somebody from April, let's say it was April 1st, until July 21st?
Oh, that could be 483.
Multiply that by almost 14.
Yikes.
He called 7,000 times. That breaks down to more than 60 calls a day, every day, for 110 days.
Jeez.
What do you even say at that point? Like, you're going to run through all the good ones? See more butts there? Is your refrigerator running? I mean, like, by the end, you have, surely to God, you've gotten to, hey, what are you wearing? Are you Jake from State Farm?
They went through all of the
Simpson
Simpson episodes. Did all of them. Amanda Hug and Kiss was always one of my favorites.
I got a bunch of them, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say them on the radio.
Old Mike. Everybody loves Mike.
Nope, can't say that one. I know where you're headed.
There could be several last names that you could throw with that.
I know the one specifically that you're not allowed to say, so don't do that and give me the adjective that we have discussed.
I'm not gonna. You know me.
Who has that much time? I don't.
Deranged
I haven't made
people.
7,000 calls in my life.
I believe that's what a lie sounds like. You made 7,000 calls to your bookie in the last 3 years.
What are you, a cop? I'm a technologically savvy man. I don't have to call a bookie. That's how you get your thumbs broked and end up not with the ability to walk.
Give me a dime on the Steelers.
I like how you did my eye cross thing when you were impersonating me. I'll put $147 on Cleveland and the Texans. 2-2 parlay. Don't call a bookie. You got an app for that. January 8th, you will all have an app for that. I think I just admitted crimes.
Possibly so.
Ironic.
We're going to move on before that gets any more investigation than it needs.
It's all right. We're friends with the chief. We got this.
Don't do crimes. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, off-season files continue. We're going to hit the Tennessee Titans next, and old Mike Vrabel. How's he got his boys ready to compete this year in the AFC South?
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road is slow. In the Avery Creek area, Boulevard Road north and southbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, traffic is stop and go. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lehman Peel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has great prices on everything you need for back to school. Right now, 2-pocket poly folders and an 8-pack of Staples No. 2 pencils are just 50 cents. Offer ends August 26. Pricing and limits may vary in-store and online. School on, save on at Staples.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
And starting Monday, you could win your way there.
Plus $1,000 spending cash.
Yeah.
Introducing Audible's new original series, Breakthrough, the first of its kind audio-only singing competition featuring celebrity judges Kelly Rowland and Sarah Bareilles, with host Daveed Diggs. Hear who has what it takes. Listen on Audible or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Join iHeartMedia for the 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities. We'll be at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway this Wednesday from 7A to 7P collecting school supplies and monetary donations to help students and teachers right here in Western North Carolina. Let's make sure every student and teacher has the supplies they need to succeed in the 23-24 school year. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a $2,600 gift card to Ingalls. The 15th annual Ingalls Tools for School Supply Drive with Evelyn Charities and iHeartMedia. Can't make it down? Text STUDENT to 345-345.
The Sportsocracy.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, coming to you from the Ingalls studio. Off-season files roll on here with the Tennessee Titans. Did adding DeAndre Hopkins to this team mean anything to the prognostication for how this team is going to finish this year?
For me?
Yes.
No.
See, I don't know that it truly equates to wins or whatever. Like I don't know if I can qualify it that way or quantify it that way. But I think this team is better. I think this offense is going to have to be better with DeAndre Hopkins included in it. Do we think Ryan Tannehill is completely washed? Because I don't think that's true either.
I think he's a mediocre quarterback. I mean, he's the 20th best quarterback in the league?
Something like that.
So you got the 20th best quarterback in the league. I would argue with the worst offensive line in the league, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
Okay.
Especially with, Nick Petit-Frere is going to miss, the first 6 games?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize what that leaves? Peter Skoronski might be the most accomplished player on the line. He hadn't played a down in this league yet.
Right.
So you've got what serves to be a mediocre quarterback behind a terrible line. The weapons are okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think DeAndre's he's a legitimate number 1 receiver in this league.
Yes.
I think Treylon Burks is probably a legitimate 2 in this league.
Yes.
And then there's nobody else on the team that I even vaguely care about.
Chiggy Okonkwo, tight end?
I was not talking about him. I was
Okay.
talking about at receiver.
Okay, at receiver.
Only at receiver. Because I was coming back to Okonkwo, who I believe a great deal in. It's just there's a lot of it's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think Derrick Henry can be what Derrick Henry has been behind this line. I don't. If he is not of this world. And then I get to the defense and go, there's a good amount that I like there. I don't know how consistently you're going to get to quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're counting on Arden Key and Harold Landry, who they're good. Jeffrey Simmons, real good.
Mm-hmm.
But your secondary is awful.
It always comes back to the secondary with this team. And it's been the problem with this team for the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, I just look at Tennessee, and I think you can figure out where they're at pretty simply. And I saw somebody else do this with another team, so I wanted to try it with Tennessee.
Okay.
The person I'm referencing was talking about New Orleans. Have you really looked at New Orleans' schedule?
I've looked at it several times.
They play one good quarterback the entire year.
Okay.
The rest of them are either rookies, mediocre, or bad.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. So let's play that same game with Tennessee. All right, you got DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
These are the number 1 corners you're going to have to deal with. Marshawn Lattimore, J.C. Jackson, Denzel Ward, Chidobe Awuzie, Marlon Humphrey, A.J. Terrell, Patrick Peterson, Carlton Dean, Tyson Campbell, J.C. Horn, Jalen Ramsey, because you play them so late that he will probably be back.
Mm-hmm.
You do get with 2 of the Texans, Tariq Woolen and Tyson Campbell again. I don't care if you had Jerry freaking Rice as your number 1 receiver. That is a daunting set of asks.
Yes.
And then you look at the quarterbacks. You've got secondaries who are going up against, and I will do it in reverse order this time, Trevor Lawrence twice. C.J. Stroud, should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Geno Smith, Tua Tagovailoa, Anthony Richardson twice. Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Kenny Pickett, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr. I don't give you an advantage on either side of that in well over half of your games.
Mm-hmm.
That is a recipe for absolute disaster. Mike Vrabel's a good enough coach that they will beat the bad teams. To me, they probably beat Indianapolis. They'll beat them at least once. They might beat them twice.
Mm-hmm.
They will beat the Houston Texans twice, probably savagely in one of those. But even if you beat every team you're supposed to, but you don't do anything else, you're still probably 5-12 because there's just not many layups on that schedule.
And I agree with that.
And I'm not trying to throw shade. This has been coming for a long time because this was an old roster that was built around an aging running back. You were going to get to this point eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've gotten here now. I think this is going to be an ugly year. You probably wind up with a good draft pick next year. But I don't know that DeAndre Hopkins is around a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to learn to draft better because this is a team that has not done that.
Are you saying anything over 5 wins is a success for this team? Are they that bad to you?
If they had practically any other coach in the league, I would say yes. Vrabel will find a way to get them to 7-10. I don't know how he's going to do it because I can't find 7 wins.
And that's how I think that goes. I think they'll probably end up at 7-10 because again, it's hard to find where the wins are going to come from, but the Titans are just one of those teams that they're going to sneak up and bite somebody. They'll sneak up and get that game against a team you're not expecting. They might pick it up and beat Baltimore at home. And that's your 8th win of the season.
I feel like Vegas is telling you how much they respect Mike Vrabel. I was telling you before the show that their DraftKings Sportsbook allows you basically to set your own line on a team and take the over-under. So like Tennessee, you can go anywhere from 3.5 to 12.5 and take over or under.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's not a whole lot of discrepancy in what you make from 6.5 to 9.5. Now you go outside of that, and it swells exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically Vegas telling you, we don't know exactly what they're going to do, but we respect Vrabel enough that we're not going to get just annihilated by Titans futures because other teams don't do that. Certain teams do. The San Franciscos of the world, they do that. Tampa Bay, anything under 6.5, you're pretty much catching the same thing. That's them telling you Todd Bowles is awful, and we just don't know how awful.
Right.
But as soon as you get over 6.5, it swells because they know definitively he ain't winning more than 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
They're baiting you into taking anything else.
I think Mike Vrabel has earned the respect, or should have earned the respect of NFL fans and prognosticators by now.
Unequivocally.
To know that this is a team that's going to be competitive year in and year out. And I believe in the defense more than you do. I think that secondary has a chance to turn some heads.
Well, I think the secondary is going to be fine.
I believe with Harold Landry coming back off a 12-sack season. I know he didn't play last year, but that kind of makes him hungrier to me to come back and earn the contract that he was given right before he missed last year due to the injury in training camp. I feel like you're going to be able to get after quarterbacks. I don't doubt that. It's the secondary and how bad you're going to get burned. And if you take a step forward, then you could be an 8-win team. I still don't think you're in the hunt for the division with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just don't. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. No show tomorrow, but join us out at the out at the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway, 7 to 7, iHeartRadio Asheville, all of our stations helping out with the Tools for Schools school supply drive with our good friends at Eblin Charity. Smoky Park Highway, Ingalls tomorrow, 9 to 11. Jeremy will be out there. I will be out there at some point tomorrow as well. But go 7 to 7, donate for a great cause. We will see you back here on ESPN Asheville Thursday.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Humidity makes a comeback later this week. We have been enjoying some comfortable low humidity here into early August, but humidity steps up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so do the rain chances. I think we'll see some thunderstorms later this week. Heaviest rainfall looks to be Thursday across Asheville. Mid-60s in the valley tonight. Chance for an afternoon shower tomorrow, high 80 degrees. Heavier rains Thursday, 73. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Irish Spring. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
That's the way I feel when my team wins. And if I want to jump up and down when my team wins, and if I want to hug my players when they do good, I'm going to do it.